everyone. Hugh Hewitt for Sherry's Berries and Mother's Day. I tell my kids, don't forget your mom on Mother's Day. They never would. But I tell them, don't forget to send her Sherry's Berries. She loves them. She loves to share them with her friends. They're the absolute most wonderful, sweet, huge, juicy, delicious berries. You cannot believe them until you see them. Once you try them, you'll order them every single year. Mother's Day is coming up, and they're offering fresh, hugely dipped strawberries starting at $19.99 plus shipping. And right now, you can double the number of berries you receive for $10 more. Pick your delivery date, and those berries are guaranteed to arrive fresh and delicious or your money back. The only way to get this amazing berries deal starting at just $19.99 is to visit berries.com. Click on the microphone on the top right-hand corner. Use my code HUGH, H-U-G-H. That's BERRIES.com. Don't say I didn't help you out, Steelers fans. Berries.com, code HUGH when you click on that microphone. This amazing deal won't last long, and Mother's Day is right around the corner, so be sure to order now.
What's happening? What does it mean? Why is it important? We've got the answer. AM 560, The Answer. WIND, Chicago.
Fox News Radio. I'm Dave Anthony. Who targeted cops late last night in Chicago? That's scanner audio from Broadcastify when two cars pulled up next to two officers in their car and someone opened fire.
One officer was hit in the back. The second officer was hit in the arm and the hip. Both officers were brought to Stroger Hospital for treatment, where they are doing quite well, thank God.
Chicago Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson says they are going to find the gunman. A vigil in Baton Rouge. People demonstrating as word spread of an AP report the Justice Department will not charge the two white Louisiana police officers who killed a black man last July. Video showed the officers scuffling with Alton Sterling. Someone yelled, "He's got a gun," and they opened fire. Baton Rouge's chief said that Sterling was armed. The officers are on leave, have not been charged locally either. A cop in Texas has been fired for a weekend shooting that left a black teenager dead.
Box Springs officer Roy Oliver was terminated for violating police department policies. Authorities say he and other officers were investigating a complaint of an underage drinking party when Oliver opened fire on a vehicle driving away. A bullet sliced through the front side passenger window and hit 15-year-old Jordan Edwards, according to the family attorney.
That's Fox's Kathleen Maloney. The family wants a murder charge. FBI Director James Comey will testify again in Congress today. Back in March, he confirmed an investigation into Russian meddling in the presidential campaign and if there was any Trump associate collusion. Now, Hillary Clinton says the FBI director shares the blame for her loss.
The combination of Jim Comey's letter on October 28th and Russian WikiLeaks.
She says those things scared her voters away. Clinton also blamed misogyny at a Women for Women event. President Trump reacted in tweets just before midnight that maybe he just ran a great campaign, calling the Russia story a Democrat excuse, and the FBI director was the best thing that ever happened to Clinton. Fox News Radio, fair and balanced.
Skies are mostly cloudy right now, 42 degrees. And in Chicago, it's 5:02 on AM 560. I'm Mike Scott in the Nissan of St. Charles newsroom. It's Nissan of St. Charles that makes the difference. People in Chicagoland dealing with chilly weather this morning. Frost advisory in effect for the city and the suburbs until 8 a.m. A manhunt underway to find the suspects who shot two Chicago police officers on the southwest side. Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson said officers were in a vehicle last night when two others inside another set of vehicles began shooting at the police officers.
It's another example of how dangerous this job is. And I think people take it for granted that when police officers come to work every day, they put their lives on the line.
Authorities say the officers were in that car near 43rd and Ashland, back of the Yards neighborhood, when people inside those two other vehicles began shooting. Both police officers are hospitalized but are expected to survive. A Will County judge is demanding answers after a 1-year-old girl was found dead last week in a Joliet Township home. During a hearing yesterday, Judge Paula Gamora said child welfare workers obviously missed signs of trouble during previous visits to a home where Samaje Crosby's body was discovered. Southern Illinois' flooding problems are about to get a lot worse. Forecasters say they expect as much as 3 inches of rain today and tomorrow in the Mississippi south of St. Louis. The Big Muddy, the Wabash, already flooding. National Weather Service expects them to swell out of their banks even more There's an emergency declaration in place for Williamson, Jackson, and Franklin counties. 5 have died in Missouri flooding. Several towns have sustained major damage along the Merrimack River. An Aurora man who's facing sentencing for plotting to join a terror group is pushing to fire his lawyers. Abdullah Tunisi filed a letter in federal court saying he wants to fire his legal team and represent himself during a sentencing hearing next month. Mayor Emanuel is trying to put the brakes on Governor Honor's plans to sell the Thompson Center. Mayor said yesterday the building houses one of the busiest CTA stations in the city. Emanuel says selling the Thompson Center would mean the station would have to be demolished and rebuilt. That, according to Emanuel, would cost taxpayers $80 to $120 million. A spokeswoman for Governor Rauner says the mayor's using inflated numbers in order to extort state taxpayers. Northwestern University is suspending a football player arrested in Evanston for felony drug possession. The Daily Northwestern reporting Evanston police were called to investigate an off-campus disturbance early on Sunday morning and found Xavier Washington in possession of cocaine. Washington is a defensive player from Texas. He started 8 games as a junior. Chicago sports, Cubs homered 3 times as they powered their way past the Phillies, 8-3. Jose Quintana, Anthony Swarzak combined on a 4-hitter. Sox shut down the Royals 6-0 at Kauffman Stadium. Celtics and Warriors win last night's NBA playoff games. Nashville 1 victory away from the Predators' first trip to the NHL Conference Finals with a win over St. Louis. The news service of NTB. Get your 5-quart conventional oil change today. Just $19.99 plus $3 disposal fee for tires, oil, service, and repairs. National Tire and Battery. That's all you need. 5:05 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
By now, you've had your chance to watch the mainstream media do everything they can to destroy President Donald Trump. Any pretense of being fair and impartial is now history. While all these years they were playing a game trying to disguise their true intentions. Now it's simply Katie bar the door. Certain networks seem to have abandoned whatever journalistic credibility they once held dear. So what to do? Where do you turn? How can you know what's really going on? Just keep it right here. We'll get you through. AM 560, The Answer.
Comcast Business presents the GOA Regional Business Association's 2017 Business Expo, face-to-face, Thursday, May 4th from 2 to 6 p.m. This event is free to the public and will be held at Avalon Banquets at 1905 East Higgins Road in Elk Grove Village. Attend and learn about products and services from over 100 local business vendors. Sample delicious local food and drinks. Enjoy raffles and great giveaways from the exhibitors. Last year, the GOA Regional Business Association's Business Expo had over 1,000 attendees. Admission to attend this event is free. All you need is your business card. Don't miss the GOA Regional Business Association's 2017 Business Expo, Thursday, May 4th, and network with over 100 companies at the only business expo in the region. For more info, call 630-773-2944. That's 630-773-2944. Or visit them online at thegoa.com. When you're looking to grow your business, think GOA.
5:07. Let's get an update on the ride to work this morning in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, Mike. Yes, some road work delays on northbound I-55. It's stop and go from 126 to Veterans Parkway with work in the 2 left lanes. It should be wrapping up soon. It's still a pretty big backup. The other expressways and tollways are looking good right now with the other overnight work gone. There's still a closure in Bolingbrook of Royce and 53 and Green due to the water there. Display is going to crash. Lee at Toohey. No playoff hockey trap tonight. The Wolves are home against Grand Rapids at Old State Arena at 7 o'clock. There's no traffic before and after the game. Traffic service of Live Nation. Live Nation is celebrating summer concert season with $20 concert tickets to over 1,000 shows. This offer won't last long. Buy your tickets May 2nd through May 9th. Don't miss out. Visit livenation.com now. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answers starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the AirComfort.com Weather Center, providing the right climate for business since 1935. Here's our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Today, clouds and sun, high 57. Tonight, cloudy with occasional rain late at night, low 42. Breezy with occasional rain tomorrow, high 51. And a mostly cloudy night, breezy with a low 41. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560. The Answer.
39 at O'Hare, 46 along the lakefront, 36 in Aurora. Your next news update is at 5:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Bolingbrook Golf Club. For tee times and more, visit BolingbrookGolfClub.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy, and this morning we're coming to you live in Orland Park from Right at Home In-Home Care and Assistance, part of our AM 560 Signature Bank Business Tour. Right at Home does personal care and provides companionship services for seniors.
Oh, this is perfect for you.
I've already enrolled. I've only been here 15 minutes. I finally have somebody to take me to a movie. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, no, this is good. And right next to you is a bed that I really want to crawl into. I mean, I saw it and I went, uh-oh.
Yeah.
That looks like the top of the 7 for me because I just need 5 minutes. That's why I take little power naps. But yeah, this is a wonderful facility.
And in the 7 o'clock hour, when we talk to the proprietors of this business, they're going to bathe me as well. So you'll want to look forward to that, an on-air bathing. That's good radio.
I love a good sponge bath.
Yeah.
Really. I have to tell you, you're sticking with the diet plan because you look like you've already lost a few lbs.
Oh, yeah.
So
no, I'm wasting away to nothing.
No, you are. So in case you didn't hear the show yesterday, Dan is taking the 12-day challenge to lose weight to get ready for our trip to Punta Cana.
Right. It's fit in my two-piece.
Yeah. It's not a bikini, Dan. And you've been doing the apple cider vinegar. So how is it going? Because you look like you've lost weight. I'm not just saying this for a radio bit.
I mean, I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know. I've taken a couple of swigs of it just to see if this actually works or if it's just another, diet scam, which I presume it is, because I think all those things are. And then I ran into a friend of mine yesterday who's doing it too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And he looks as bloated as he always looked. So I don't know. And he's been doing it a lot longer than I have.
Well, then you have another friend that lost 3 pounds or is losing 3 pounds a week doing this apple cider vinegar.
Yeah.
Right.
I think maybe his diet and exercise may have something to do with that too.
Okay, well.
You can't just rely on apple cider vinegar to look like Charles Atlas.
Now, do you pour the apple cider vinegar over your ice cream or do you?
Just I do it like you're supposed to do it. And 8 ounces of water, a couple of pours, a couple of swigs, a couple of teaspoons. And then, that's it. I mean, you could put some lemon juice in there. You can put some there. It actually, I was told by this bloated friend that there's actually a version now that comes with honey in it.
Oh.
To kind of sweeten it because it does.
It's
rather
just acidic.
Aggressive.
But I tried to, see what you all are doing, and I tried it yesterday, and I'm not trying that again. I'm okay.
Yeah, you don't need
I think the insides were getting torn up. Maybe it was just too healthy. I mean, I have my limits.
Yeah, there is a certain, as I said yesterday, a certain roto-rootering feel that you have after you drink 8 ounces of water with that
But
apple
hey, can you do me a favor? Can you weigh yourself before Friday's show?
Yeah, we'll have a weigh-in.
You want it?
Yeah. Just like before a big prize fight, I'll strip down to my underwear at the airport, and we'll have a weigh-in with all the folks that are going with us to Punta Cana.
Yeah.
How's that sound?
Awesome.
All right, we have some business to tend to here. A busy day in news and politics yesterday, including Mike Pence making a rare appearance on Rush Limbaugh's show, and by that I mean a rare appearance of a guest on Rush Limbaugh's show. And Limbaugh put it to him about this budget resolution to fund the government through September. What is the purpose of even voting Republican? Oh. And now we lost our audio.
Oh, hold on.
Because we don't have audio here. You know what this feels like?
What does
it
this
feels
feel
like being back in the studio.
where we don't have any audio or phones or
Hey, guess
computers.
Look, Dan, it's back.
No.
Yeah.
No, not here.
Oh, here. Okay.
Rush Limbaugh. Give me what Rush Limbaugh.
Why
one
vote
asking.
Republican? What is the point of voting Republican if the Democrats are going to continue to win practically 95% of their objectives, such as in this last budget deal?
Well, I look respectfully, Rush. I actually think this was, as the president said a little while ago, I think this was actually a clear win for the American people. Look, you've had Washington D.C. that has been paralyzed by gridlock and partisan infighting for many years, and in this new president, you have someone who's able to bring people together and make a $21 billion increase in defense spending at a time of great challenge.
Yeah, so that's what Pence and the Trump team were touting yesterday, at the idea that the $21 billion increase in defense spending is what makes this a victory. That was a big part of it, and it did not include a dollar-for-dollar increase in other domestic spending, social welfare spending, and so this is why this was a victory. This is why this is not business as usual in Washington, D.C. I think it's a tough case for Trump and Pence to make out.
I mean, clearly the Democrats got the better end of this funding bill. There's no dispute. And for him to go on and act like everything's fine, that we won in this fight, I think it's out of character for Vice President Pence.
OMB Director Mick Mulvaney also tried to make the case that, hey, look, we didn't get funding for the border wall, but we do have hundreds of millions of dollars for border fencing.
Oh yeah, I saw him next to the fencing. Like this is what it's going to look like.
Right,
the before and after
big
reveal.
No, he's saying that this is ongoing. That the cyclone fencing that they're putting up to replace shoddy fencing that doesn't provide any barrier whatsoever is happening.
There are several hundreds of millions of dollars for us to replace cyclone fencing with 20-foot high steel wall. There's several hundreds of millions of dollars in the bill for us. Can we bring up the other photo, please? We have the other photos. There's several hundreds of millions of dollars for us to build levees along the southern border. And as many of you know who follow this issue, some of the most vulnerable areas that we have are places along rivers where we desperately need levees in order to provide the protection of the southern border that we need. Okay, we are building this now. There is money in this deal to build several hundreds of millions of dollars of this to replace this.
All right, so you've got several $100 million for this and this along the border to improve border security, even though it isn't the wall funding that was desired. So
they also didn't get funding for a bigger deportation force.
Right, the rest of the funding that they wanted that they didn't get supposedly will be a fight over the summer leading into the next fiscal year at the end of September, so said Paul Ryan and others. So they're trying to put perfume on a pig.
Right, exactly. I mean, there's no cuts for sanctuary cities and no cuts for Planned Parenthood. Now, I don't want Planned Parenthood to go away. I know that you do. But I don't want my tax dollars going to fund any part of Planned Parenthood. They are making money hand over fist right now with all these women's groups who are so concerned that they're going to be shut down and be denied their federal funding, that they're making more money than they ever have in their history. So we don't need to fund Planned Parenthood.
Yeah, right. Well, so, I mean, and again, this is something Paul Ryan said, well, this is a fight over the summer. We're not done yet. And again, leading into the next fiscal year, that's when they'll take this up. The problem, of course, with that approach is that people have been paying attention, are a little weary of this. We're going to push off that fight to a later date when we will push it off again. And meanwhile, the Leviathan expands. Meanwhile, the debate continues to move left. Meanwhile, Republicans start from the left's premise. Something else that Pence said yesterday I thought was interesting, and how he characterized where we stand with Obamacare replacement 2.0.
Well, what you're going to get is the beginning of the end of Obamacare and the beginning of a better health care system for the American people.
The beginning of the end, not the end. Right? The promise was the end, not the beginning of the end. Now, you could be charitable in your interpretation of what Pence said there and say the beginning of the end because this is first phase of three phases. But my sense is that that's almost a Freudian slip of honesty to say, look, what you're going to get, we're not going to get the kind of market-based health insurance system that conservatives spoke about for the past 8 years. to go 180 degrees from Obamacare, and frankly, to even address Medicare and Medicaid and their current insolvency. You're going to get the beginning of the end of what we call Obamacare. And now, interestingly, who is providing the roadblock, the wall, if you will, to passing 2.0, replacement 2.0, to kick it over to the Senate? Republican centrists.
Mm-hmm.
The Republicans can still only afford to lose 22 Republican votes, and nearly a couple of dozen Republican centrists have expressed reservations, some saying they will not support it.
Mm-hmm.
They are mischaracterizing the amended replacement bill as not covering pre-existing conditions. They are mischaracterizing that, when in fact what the bill does is provide waiver opportunities for the states. But if a state was to opt out of the pre-existing coverage, then they would have to enter the high-risk pools that are for persons with pre-existing conditions that are funded by the federal government. So it would be a state decision, and then if the state decided to go down that path, and I suspect very few would, they would still necessarily involve the federal government in a high-risk pool to cover people with pre-existing conditions. The so-called MacArthur Amendment that you hear centrists talking about on the talk shows. Billy Long, the Republican from Missouri, who's come out in opposition to Obamacare replacement 2.0, and others are mischaracterizing what it does. But now it'll be interesting, because how much heat did the Freedom Caucus take?
A lot.
From the Republican Party, from the rank and file. They're obstinate. They're ideological. Now, this relatively minor amendment that devolves power away from the federal government to the states to chart their own course, and it's Republican centrists, the Tuesday Group, the Adam Kinzingers of the world, that are not on board. So we'll see how the D.C. press corps loves the moderate Republican, because they love any Republican that's attacking a conservative. That's why they like John McCain so much. Or Lindsey
That's
Graham.
why they make all the Sunday talk shows.
So how the centrists are treated, including by rank-and-file Republicans, will be quite interesting. Mark on the South Side, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Dan, if the Republicans could change the Senate rules for Judge Gorsuch, why can't they do the same for the budget? Because at this rate, they'll never get 60 votes when they only have 52.
You're right that they could exercise the nuclear option for legislative matters. You've had Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell say he will not do that, does not want to do that, wants to protect that. The pressure may get to the point where it will be necessary for him to do that, or at least ultimately he'll come to that conclusion. We may get to that point, but we're not there now. Thanks for the call, Mark. Dan and Amy coming to you live from right at home in Orland Park, part of our AM 560 Signature Bank Business Tour.
It's like a hot, steaming cup of information to start your day. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Today it is going to be cloudy and pretty cool for this time of year, only a high in the mid-50s. Tonight, occasional rain, it returns. And then tomorrow, some breezy conditions, occasional rain, and a high of 51 degrees. Let's get into our alarm detection systems traffic center. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Dan. Northbound I-55. It's stop and go from 126 to Weber Road, where overnight road work is now in the process of clearing out of the two left lanes. Farther north, Stevenson's a bit slow. State to Lakeshore Drive, 35 minutes, 3:55 to the drive. Inbound Ryan, got about a 1-minute delay now coming into downtown. A little heavy on inbound I-57 starting at 103rd, 19 minutes. I-80 to the merge. Bishop Ford at 16 minutes. Tollways are looking good. No delays to report in northwest Indiana. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
The website, upstream-ideas.com, premium content that complements what we do on this show each morning. Long-form interviews this week featuring my sit-down with Andrew Broy, the president of the Illinois Network for Charter Schools, to talk about why Chicago Democrats are trying to kill charter schools, even though they have but 25% of the student body and yet represent nearly 50% of college enrollees. We also do Man on the Street interviews, our Follow the Logic segment this week. We ask people if the Chicago Public Schools are overfunded, underfunded, or funded just about right. See if they can follow the logic when actually given the data. Podcast for our Illinois Rising program that covers state of Illinois policy and politics. 2-minute warnings, dollars and cents commentaries, 60 seconds of sanity from yours truly. Go to upstream-ideas.com and sign up today.
They are here, circling over your head, and they're tracking you down. You feel overwhelmed, like you can't escape. You need a solution to get your back taxes filed, to put your life back on track. You need someone who can keep the vultures at bay and work directly with the IRS to leverage every opportunity to settle your tax debt. Mary Karpowitz, CEO of Comprehensive Tax Solutions, is licensed to represent you before the IRS. Don't let the IRS threaten you. You should never need to speak to them directly. Mary does that for you. Comprehensive Tax Solutions will help you settle your entire IRS tax debt for up to 85% off the original amount owed, including penalties and interest if you qualify. Comprehensive Tax Solutions, family-owned in Chicagoland, can be a lifesaver for you. Call 708-478-6770, 708-478-6770, or go to resolveyourtaxproblems.com. Call 708-478-6770 now. When it comes to your home, nothing's more important than your roof. Everything underneath depends on it, right? Even if it's not leaking just yet, you know it's important to be proactive and repair or replace it before you have a problem. And if you're in Chicagoland, the decision on who to call is easy. You call the Champion. That's Champion Roofing. For over 3 decades, Champion Roofing has provided great service and beautiful roofs at competitive prices. It starts with the Champion expertise. Using quality materials plus the latest high-tech equipment, Champion skilled tradesmen will complete your job on time and to your satisfaction. So if a new or repaired roof is on your list this spring, don't hesitate to call the Champion of Roofing now. They're licensed, bonded, and insured. Call Champion Roofing today for your free estimate, 847-673-7663, or visit championroofing.com. That's 847-673-7663, or online at championroofing.com. 847-673-7663.
Insurance. It's a necessary part of your life. You want to protect what's most valuable to you and your family, like your home, your auto, your business, and even yourself. Sure, you can buy from an online insurance company that offers the lowest rate, but you want coverage and people you can count on. You want to talk to someone who understands who you are and your personal situation. A professional that cares. Debbie Luscombe, the Southwest Suburbs' leading State Farm insurance agent, is one of only 3% of State Farm insurance agents in Illinois that's a fully licensed mortgage professional. Imagine one place to get great service and savings on insurance for your home, auto, and business, and now your mortgage. Try that with one of those online insurance companies. Could you or your business benefit from a free custom insurance and financial checkup? Contact Debbie now for a free analysis to see if you're getting the best coverage and lowest mortgage rate. Visit DebbieOnBell.com. That's DebbieOnBell.com. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. MLS number 1529220.
When you think about spring, what comes to mind? Baseball, tulips, spring cleaning? How about cleaning up your home? Hi, Amy Jacobson here to tell you about our good friends at CertaPro Painters. Spring has arrived, and it's a great time to focus on your exterior painting. Don't deny how ugly it is. You know, the chipping, peeling, eyesore of a front porch. So do what I did and call CertaPro Painters now. 1-800-GO-CERTA or visit CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. They really are the best in the business. They're clean, responsible, talented. They increased our property values. They're such a top-notch company. They've been around for 25 years and counting. So do what I did and experience the CertaPro difference. 1-800-GO-CERTA or CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
AM 560, The Answer.
Hey, the 100 Club of Chicago, that's the charity we're supporting through our annual golf outing coming up on Thursday, June 15th at the beautiful yet challenging Bolingbrook Golf Club. The 100 Club's mission is to provide financial and education assistance to the families of fallen first responders, cops, firefighters, and EMTs. And here's how you can support this great cause and become an AM 560 business benefactor. Dan, do you want to say how they can do it?
No, you've got it.
Okay.
You're on a roll over there.
So when you purchase a foursome at our golf outing for $1,196, AM 560 will give you 25 60-second commercials as a way of saying thank you. And the commercials will run primetime, and that's a $3,000 value for just $1,196. So here's what you do. Get your team together. Call Michael Mann at 847-871-1527. That's 847-871-1527. Enjoy a great day of golf, support a great charity, and reach new customers when you become a business benefactor. 847-871-1527. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
What reduced Ivanka Trump to tears, and how Michael Moore talking to Larry O'Donnell reduced me to tears at 5:38.
But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
42 degrees outside, cloudy skies. At 5:29, good morning, everyone. I'm Mike Scott in the Nissan of St. Charles newsroom. It's Nissan of St. Charles that makes the difference. Manhunt is underway to find the suspects who shot 2 Chicago police officers on the southwest side.
It's another example of how dangerous this job is. And I think people take it for granted that when police officers come to work every day, they put their lives on the line.
Authorities say the officers were sitting in a vehicle last night in the back of the Yards neighborhood, 43rd and Ashland, when 2 other vehicles began shooting at them. Both police officers are hospitalized, expected to survive. 3 U.S. service members have been wounded in a bomb attack in Afghanistan. A suicide bomber targeted a NATO convoy, killing at least 8. FBI Director James Comey testifies in a Senate hearing today. Comey will be asked to comment on a variety of issues, including Russian meddling in last year's presidential election. Former South Carolina police officer accused of shooting a black man in the back is pleading guilty to use of excessive force.
Because today is a day of victory for Walter. We got justice. And I thank God for all of those that worked with us.
Walter Scott's mother, Judy Michael Slager, shot Walter Scott several times in 2015 as Scott was running away. There will not be any charges against Louisiana officers involved in the shooting of Alton Sterling. Several media reports now say the Department of Justice will close its investigation without pressing charges. The 37-year-old black man who was armed was killed outside a Baton Rouge convenience store in 2016 while tussling with 2 white police officers. Netflix this morning says they will put additional warnings on a new series about teen suicide. A statement by Netflix defends the new series, 13 Reasons Why. Many critics are worried the series glamorizes suicide and could inspire copycat behavior. Southern Illinois' flooding problems are about to get a lot worse. As much as 3 inches of rain could fall today and tomorrow. The Mississippi, the Big Muddy, other rivers are already rain swollen and spilling over their banks. There is an emergency declaration in Williamson, Jackson, and Franklin counties. And this morning, Wisconsin lawmakers say they're going to make it official. The dairy-obsessed state's favorite dairy product will be cheese. The legislature agreeing Tuesday to designate cheese as the official dairy product of Wisconsin. Chicago sports. Cubs homer 3 times as they power their way past the Phillies, 8-3. Jose Quintana, Anthony Swarzik, a 4-hit shutout of the Royals, 6-0. The news service of NTB. Get your 5-quart conventional oil change today, $19.99, plus a $3 disposal fee. For tires, oil, service, and repairs, National Tire and Battery. That's all you need. 5:32, we'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher sees the end of free speech.
The practice of college students silencing speakers. Conservative speakers. I can think of no time where I have done anything other than disagree with somebody on the far left's perspective. I can't wrap my brain around stopping that person from speaking.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, roasted fresh daily in Batavia, Illinois.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I love the product. I think I've been feeling great.
Just feel so energetic. Just amazing.
My cholesterol readings have never been better.
Balance of Nature has been consistent and has changed my life.
I love the product. It's really helped me.
I don't need my cane anymore. My knee doesn't hurt. I was afraid every day to wake up for fear it's going to hurt, but it hasn't hurt since.
Since I'm taking this stuff, it really is absolutely great. I mean, I'm digesting better. I have better appetite. It's just worked miracles.
Take Dr. Howard's Health Challenge and find out how to get 2 free sets of fruits and veggies. We'll even ship them to you free. Call now for details. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Chicago.
You have a wonderful company. I love my Balance of Nature. My whole life is so much better.
5:34. Let's get an update on the roads this morning. In the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Right now, it's all clear on the Edens and the Kennedy. The Eisenhower inbound getting a little bit congested around 25th Avenue. 30 minutes, Thorndale to downtown, outbound 29. Northbound I-55. There's some residual delays. Veterans Parkway to 53. Overnight roadwork has cleared there. And on the Stevenson, it's slow central to Pulaski and State to Lakeshore Drive. 37 minutes, 3:55 to the drive. Outbound 534. On Ryan, 17 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, Bishop Ford, both 24 minutes. I-80 to the merge. Tollways are fine. Traffic also is a service of NTB. Get your 5-quart conventional oil change today. Just $19.99 plus $3 disposal fee. Tires, oil, service, and repairs. National Tire and Battery, that's all you need. Traffic answers when you need them most. Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Jim, thank you. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the aircomfort.com Weather Center, providing the right climate for business since 1935. Clouds and sun, a high of 57 today. Cloudy with occasional rain late, low 42, and a high of 51 tomorrow. The news is also a service of Live Nation, celebrating summer concert season. Win $20 concert tickets to over 1,000 shows. Buy your tickets May 2nd through May 9th. Don't miss out. LiveNation.com now. 39 at O'Hare. Next news at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Power Trading Radio. Heard Sundays at 2 p.m. Brought to you each week by Online Trading Academy.
Coming up next, it's me, Mike Gallagher, right after Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy, and we're coming to you live in Orland Park from Right at Home In-Home Care and Assistance, part of our AM 560 Signature Bank Business Tour. And
Actually, this is our last one.
It is. The business
season.
tour comes to an end this year.
Sad. But I don't
such
want
a
it
great
to
tour.
end. It's so fun hanging out with Eric Thomas every Wednesday.
He's like our deadhead. He's like the one guy who follows us around on a tour. Roadie. He's really more of a roadie than a groupie. He doesn't want to be here.
He wants to be here.
Oh, that's.
Did you hear that? He wants to be here.
Yeah, that's nice.
But at 7:37, we're going to speak with the owners, and they have a fascinating story. And guess what? The owner of this company played high school basketball with the one and only Lou Canellis. Lou Canellis was the center back then. He was tall at an early age.
It must have been in the Peach Basket era then, because I don't see that working out well. And please, the last name of the proprietors of this business?
Adenovich.
Oh! Adenovich. Dave and Allison Adenovich.
Right, because I
phonetically, you get the
phonetically.
Hooked on Phonics is working. So we're going to talk to the Adenoviches at 7:30. Find out more about their business serving seniors. But here's the deal. Ivanka Trump, in a little profile piece in the New York Times. What made the implacable
Ivana's the wife.
Oh, that's a pretty good Ivana. That's
It is.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And nobody's heard Ivana really speak for years.
No,
so.
she's been. But I don't know if they're paying her to be quiet, but she doesn't. She hasn't been out much at all.
And do your Ivana again. It's a little Zsa Zsa-ish.
But she looks like Zsa Zsa Gabor.
And
Have you ever seen those two together in the same room?
No.
Hmm? Zsa Zsa's dead now.
Yes, I'm sorry to hear that. A moment for the Gabor sisters. Now do your Melania.
Now I'm going to read the book Party Animals, a book by Kathy Lee Gifford. Piggy couldn't come to the party because Piggy ate all the food. Yeah.
It's not bad. It sounds eerily like Vlad Putin, but it's not bad. All right, so you got the Trump ladies down pretty well. Ivanka, can you do Ivanka? You can do Ivanka then. That's some smooth jazz.
Give me something to read.
You've got to be.
I'll do the weather forecast as
Please,
Ivanka.
yeah, all right, do that.
Well, we're going to have times of clouds and sun. Oh, this is awful.
No, it's
I can't do it.
It's too fast, too.
She's perfect, and she every time she speaks, I just get mesmerized, and I go to my happy place.
Well, the implacable fembot that she is, there is something that caused her to break down. New York Times reports on it. It was when that Hollywood Access tape came out.
Oh, she cried? Good for her. Because I died a little inside, too.
Ivanka Trump made an emphatic case for a full-throated apology, according to several people who were present for the crisis discussion that unfolded in Mr. Trump's 26th floor office. Raised amid a swirl of tabloid headlines, she, Ivanka, had spent her adult life branding herself as her father's poised, family-focused daughter. She marketed her clothing line with slogans about female empowerment, was finishing a book on the topic. As she spoke, Mr. Trump remained unyielding. His daughter's eyes welled with tears, her face reddened, and she hurried out of the room in frustration.
Oh, it's written so well. I feel like I'm in the room with her. But I understand. I mean, if that was my father or anybody's relative, you'd be horrified by that comment.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah,
no question.
it is.
I understand it. Now, the piece goes on, the New York Times piece goes on to talk about
just so her crying made her dad apologize?
No, I think there was an agreement to apologize, but perhaps she wanted him to be more aggressive in copping to what was on that tape than he wanted to. That's the impression you're left with.
Oh.
And so,
Well, his
and out of
apology.
frustration, she fled the scene.
Did you see his apology?
Yeah,
There was no sincerity
Do we need
in
to,
that apology.
I mean, I really don't want to relitigate the whole thing.
Oh, I do. Let's play the tape. Play the tape.
Some people are never going to get over the 2016 election, like Hillary Clinton, who we'll get to. But the important point of the piece in the New York Times on Ivanka is the role that she plays in the administration now, as the Times opines in a news story. Miss Trump, is her father's all-around West Wing confidant and an advisor whose portfolio appears to have few parameters, making her among the highest-ranking women, and a senior staff stocked almost entirely with men. And they talk a little bit about her agenda, which has come into focus a bit, that she's focusing on gender inequality in the United States, wants to create that federal paid leave program, more affordable child care, a global fund for women who are entrepreneurs, among other efforts. She's a little left for my taste, but the one thing that Ivanka says that I think is particularly salient, she says, suddenly, after my father declared his candidacy, it became that all the things that I was doing that I was praised for, the same people, the critics, viewed them through this different lens. Somehow, all the same things they applauded me for as a millennial, as a female entrepreneur, were now viewed very cynically as opportunistic. I think that's fair, is that because of she became complicit, as they describe, the resistance describes her, the P-Hat posse. All of the things that the P-Hat posse would normally celebrate about a successful woman like Ivanka became things that were not laudatory. And that, of course, is not a comment on Ivanka so much. It's a comment on the hypocrisy of the left. So it's just an interesting piece. It's worth checking out because the combination of Ivanka and Jared Kushner, her husband.
The guy who has no voice.
Correct. You can't do an impression of him unless you want to do it as Marceau, because he does not speak.
No, he
He's
doesn't.
trapped in a box.
I want to hear his voice so badly.
But those two have a critically important role in this administration. What they think and how they influence the president is a relevant topic of conversation. So much focus on Steve Bannon and all of this. Jared Kushner and Ivanka seems to me, have as much, if not more, influence than anybody else in that White House. So I'd like to hear more from them, including Kushner. I'd like to understand how they're influencing the president. So the New York Times raising the profile of Ivanka, not coming at it from their angle, but for the purposes of discussing how she will influence and how Kushner will influence the decisions that the president makes. This is relevant.
Yeah, Ivanka clearly has a social agenda. I mean, she's out for women's rights. She's donated money to Planned Parenthood, but she couldn't even vote for her dad in the primary because she was a registered independent in the state of New York. So he loves her more than anything in the world, I think. That's his number one. I mean, we've seen he fawns all over her. So whatever she wants, I think he will try and appease her and give her what she wants.
Well, I think that's
a point.
That's right. That's probably true to a point. He's willing to make marginal concessions to keep her in the fold and to keep her happy. That could very well be the case for something like the federally mandated paid leave. We'll see. We'll see. But going to the resistance now, how the left is treating Ivanka. Here's some more from the leading lights of the left these days, the deep intellects. Michael Moore on with Larry O'Donnell on MSNBC yesterday. You didn't see it because you're not one of the 4 people that watches MSNBC, but I am. Michael Moore talking about his forthcoming one-man show on Broadway and the 4 fronts from which the left must attack Trump in order to take him down. Listen.
We have to operate on 4 fronts here. We need citizen mass action. We've seen that, right? We need our lawyers to go to court and get injunctions. We've had that. We need to run people who can win next year. We need to take back the House of Representatives. And if we keep our Democratic senators, it means we only need to remove 3 Republican senators next year. We need to do that. And the final thing that I have pushed is that we need an army of satire. We need everybody to use their sense of humor and their comedy to bring him down because his skin is so thin. He gets so upset all Melissa McCarthy has to do is just keep appearing and Alec Baldwin on SNL. And basically I and others, we formed this larger group of discombobulating him with humor, ridicule, satire. We want him up at 3 a.m. tweeting.
So satire, the army of satire is the secret weapon that Michael Moore is going to be armed with for his one-man show. Surprise ending in that one-man show.
Yeah.
Nudity.
Oh, for Michael Moore.
Yeah, he's going to do a little bit of a hair thing. Yeah. So
I think he's transitioning. Have you seen him lately?
Yeah, I saw him yesterday when Larry O'Donnell show.
Did he look a little feminine yesterday when you saw him? Was he wearing or was he not wearing a pea hat?
He was wearing a hat. I don't know if technically you call it a pea hat, but I guess on Michael Moore you could.
Yeah, who's going to go and see that show? I mean, they're
all your friends.
What am I saying? He might be at Friday night's event.
Yeah.
Have you decided to go yet?
No.
It's 1,000 people are signed up to go.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Michael Moore, but the army of satire, the entertainers, the Hollywood left, using the platforms they have for ridicule. Ridicule is a powerful tool. It is underestimated. The right doesn't do it enough. One of the reasons Rush Limbaugh became the godfather of talk radio is because he was willing to ridicule the left. You can operate on multiple levels. You can make intellectual arguments, but you can marginalize people through ridicule. And that's something the left understands and does a much better job, and they have more institutions that have talented people that are good at it than does the right.
And Michael Moore knows how to get underneath Donald Trump's skin. I mean, he described it beautifully. Just we want him to keep tweeting. We want him up at night.
Donald Trump isn't the audience. That's where Moore's being disingenuous. Donald Trump's not the audience. We're the audience. The people that voted for Trump because they couldn't stomach Hillary, but have real qualms about Trump. That's the audience. What do they want to do? Make it uncool to be part of Trump. And this is what I talk about with folks in places in Chicagoland, like the North Shore. You need to make it uncool to be a minion of Chicago Democrat crime families within your social circles. Because you have conservatives that are shunned. You have Trump supporters that are shunned.
Yeah, that are still in closets, haven't even admitted that they voted for him.
Right. So what does that say? It's the power of ridicule.
It's like a secret society.
Do you understand? People, we know this from research. Most people would rather physically be injured than be ridiculed publicly. They would rather be physically hurt, beaten, than ridiculed publicly. That's how powerful ridicule is as a tool of, frankly, persuasion, or as a tool to ostracize for the purposes of persuasion. Michael Moore gets that. The army of satire coming from Michael Moore, and we can make all the jokes about Michael Moore, and I enjoy them as much as you do, and I make them as much as you do.
Was it too soon to say he's transitioning?
No, I all of it. But his underlying point is not an illegitimate one and shouldn't be so easily dismissed. And guess who picked up on that and who's picking up on that? I don't know if you still watch him. I don't. But I picked up on Stephen Colbert yesterday.
Who did he replace?
The Late Show.
David Letterman.
Right.
Yeah.
And listen to Colbert.
Welcome to the Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. It is day 102 of the Trump presidency. 1,358 days to go, but who's counting?
And he raises his hand. Right. And then Colbert, in response to Trump saying over the weekend to John Dickerson in that sit-down he did for Face the Nation, John Dickerson, the host of Face the Nation.
Oh, what he asked him about the wiretapping and he kicked him out?
Well, that part, but also Trump saying, I call it deface the nation.
Yeah, that was fun.
So Colbert responded with this harangue to Trump's deface the nation comment to Dickerson.
I love your presidency. I call it disgrace the nation. You're not the POTUS, you're the bloatus. You're the glutton with the button. You're a regular Gorge Washington. You're the presidents, but you're turning into a real pricktator. Sir, you attract more skinheads than free Rogaine. You have more people marching against you than cancer. You talk like a sign language gorilla who got hit in the head. In fact, the only thing your mouth is good for is being Vladimir Putin's holster. Your presidential library.
I would say I'm not saying it's all good satire.
Be a kids menu in a couple of Jugs magazine.
I'm not saying it's all good satire.
Is your tax returns, and you can take that any way you want.
Anything smaller than your hands is your tax returns?
I'm not saying it's always going to be good satire or it's always going to be persuasive, but I mean, and you've got the canned studio audience, of course, that amplifies it. But don't underestimate the persuasive power of this stuff. And frankly, conservatives need to respond in kind at some level. Dan and Amy coming to you live from right at home, in-home care and assistance, part of our AM 560 Signature Bank Business Tour.
If you're talking about it, Dan and Amy are talking about it. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
LPS Corporation in Franklin Park is proud to support Food for the Poor and AM 560, The Answer. LPS Corporation sells and services meat processing equipment for supermarkets and packing houses throughout the Chicagoland area. They also offer a wide assortment of handcrafted, quality seasonings and marinades to add just the right flavor to your culinary creations. From grinding, stuffing, mixing, and slicing to flavoring meats and packaging meats, LPS Corporation does it all. They also have free training classes that teach you how to create delicious sausage, salami, lunch meats, and more using authentic Italian products and taught by technicians from Italy. LPS Corporation, food processing equipment, supplies, and service to help your supermarket or packing house run efficiently each and every day. For more info, call 847-451-2222 or visit them in Franklin Park at 2308 17th Street. Choose LPS Corporation for meat processing equipment, supplies, and service.
All right, so my neighbor Mike came up to me yesterday and said, do your My Pillows really work? Because I'm so sick. He bought a pillow from one of those big box stores, hates it. So I'm bringing over My Pillow for him to try today. And what I love about My Pillow, and yes, I have 4 of them, is that you can move the patented fill to give you the support you need regardless of sleep position. You'll get into deep sleep faster and stay there longer. No more waking up to a stiff neck or headache. And our good friend Mike Lindell manufactures them right here in America using only American Labor. You can wash and dry your MyPillow, and there's hypoallergenic. And, of course, you'll get the 10-year warranty with a 60-day money-back guarantee. For May, get 50% off the 4-pack. Dan's Abs? No, the 4-pack is 2 Go Anywhere and 2 premium MyPillows, all for the price of 1. Go to MyPillow.com. Use the promo code Amy, or you can go call this number, 800-489-0201. That's 800-489-0201. Promo code Amy.
My name is David Hochberg, Vice President Lending at Pearl Mortgage. If you're purchasing a home, give me a call. A borrower called me after contacting the lender, who boasts about having the lowest rates and closing costs, because he thought my competitors' closing costs were excessively high. I compared loan estimates, and the interest rates were identical, but our definitions of low closing costs were a lot different. Fact is, my closing costs were over $1,000 less than the lender claiming to have the lowest closing costs. When purchasing a home, you can either work with the lender, who talks and talks and talks and talks about low closing costs, or you can work with me, a lender who actually has low closing costs. Then think of all the things you could do with an extra $1,000 when we originate your loan, like pay for the movers, buy a new computer, new TV, maybe new carpet for your new house. I've helped thousands of AM 560 listeners, but I can't help if you don't call 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage, an equal housing lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee, 4358, and MLS 19186.
Daily stress is a big deal. Fact is, the terrible impact of stress is very deadly and shortens our lives. Stressed individuals attract diseases, just like blood in the water attracts sharks. Hi, this is Dr. David Kolbaba. I'm the show host of Health Quest Radio, the longest-running health news and science show in Chicago. And for over 33 years, we share practical concepts from a natural healthcare perspective to minimize the need for all those dangerous drugs and risky surgeries. Today, it's our dirt cheap adrenal stress index test. No blood, just spit. You know, most people flunk on their first go-around signaling adrenal gland distress. And then following our stress-busting strategies, most individuals pass their second test with flying colors. So if you can spare a little spit, call and purchase your first dirt cheap adrenal stress index test, and we'll hold that same special low price for your follow-up test. Call 800-794-1855. You can't get any cheaper than dirt cheap. 800-794-1855. And be sure to tune in to Health Quest Radio this Saturday morning at 11.
Commercial roofing is a serious venture that protects your business and property. It depends on the right manufacturer and the company to install it. Chicago weather and high winds require a high quality of roof and an experienced roofer. For over 3 decades, Champion Roofing has been the recognized leader in commercial roofing. With a commitment to quality and attention to detail, Champion offers warranties from 5 to 30 years. And Champion's roofers have the experience to provide you with the assurance of a quality installation through excellent workmanship. Give yourself and your business peace of mind. Trust the Champion. For unmatched commercial roofing expertise, extensive range of services, the security of a comprehensive warranty, and a highly skilled workforce to install your roofs for a job well done, call licensed, bonded, and insured Champion Roofing today for your free estimate. 847-673-7663 or visit championroofing.com. That's 847-673-7663 or online at championroofing.com. Don't trust your roof to anybody other than a champion.
5:57. Let's get an update on the roads this early morning in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. On the inbound Kennedy, traffic is slow from the River Road till to Canfield. It's 22 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. Outbound fine at 20. All clear on the Edens. About Eisenhower. A delay from Manheim to Des Plaines Avenue. It's 34 minutes, Thorndale to downtown. Outbound 29. About Stevenson, delays start right around 3:55. Travel time from the Veterans Memorial Tollway to Lakeshore Drive is now 47 minutes, 35 from the Tri-State. Outbound it's clear. Ryan is 21 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, Bishop Ford, both 23 minutes. I-80 to the merge. Tollways are fine. Traffic service of Staples. Staples has great deals on everything printed for your business. Get 20% off select print and marketing service orders of $50 or more. Presentations, banners, even signs. Printed same or next day. And 5-6-17 exclusions apply. See store or staples.com/smallbiz for details. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues after a full update from Fox News. But first, your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the aircomfort.com Weather Center. Here's our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Patchy frost for the morning, otherwise clouds and sun for the day today with a high 57. For tonight, we'll have occasional late night rain with a low 42 and occasional rain during the day tomorrow. Wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour, high tomorrow 51. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently 39 at O'Hare, 36 in Aurora. The news, a service of Al Pomani Ford. Stop before you buy your new car. You must visit Al Pomani Ford. Truckloads of new cars and trucks have just arrived, and everything is priced to sell quickly. Al Pomani Ford is at 25th and North Avenue in Melrose Park. At 5:59, I'm Mike Scott in the Nissan of St. Charles newsroom. It's Nissan of St. Charles that makes the difference, and here are the stories we're following at this hour. A manhunt underway to find the suspects who shot 2 Chicago police officers on the southwest side. Superintendent Eddie Johnson says both officers are hospitalized but expected to survive. Southern Illinois' flooding problems about to get a lot worse. As much as 3 inches of rain could fall today and tomorrow. The Mississippi, the Big Muddy, the Wabash, and many other streams and creeks are swelling out of their banks. There is an emergency declaration for Williamson, Jackson, and Franklin, and also in suburban St. Louis along the Merrimack River. The Democrat billionaires campaign for governor in the state of Illinois is already running television ads. J.B. Pritzker releasing his first TV commercial yesterday. Cubs over the Phillies. White Sox blank the Royals. More Dan and Amy next. WIND Chicago News Time, 6 o'clock.
Fox News Radio. I'm Dave Anthony. If the election had been October 27th, Hillary Clinton says she would be president. Guess who disagrees on Twitter? Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, the president is firing back at Clinton, saying she got a free pass for many bad deeds from FBI Director James Comey. Clinton sees things differently, telling a New York women's conference that a combination of Comey revisiting her email probe and the WikiLeaks emails
raised doubts in the minds of people who were inclined to vote for me but got scared off.
Clinton said while she takes responsibility for the loss, she also believes misogyny played a role. The president also tweeted, perhaps Trump just ran a great campaign. Dave.
Rachel, there's a manhunt in Chicago for gunmen who ambushed 2 police officers last night, shooting and wounding both.
If they will fire at police officers like that, then they have no thought process in terms of firing at other citizens of this great city. So we are going to get them.
Chicago Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson says the officers are doing well recovering. A white police officer in Balk Springs, Texas, has been fired for opening fire at a car full of teenagers over the weekend, driving away from a house party, killing a black 15-year-old. The boy's family wants Roy Oliver to be charged with murder. In Baton Rouge, Louisiana,
we have nothing to lose
a vigil last night outside the convenience store where 2 white cops killed a black man last summer. Fox's Tanya J. Powers has more live.
The Justice Department has decided not to charge those 2 officers, but that may not be the end of it. That decision does not preclude the state authorities from doing their own investigation of the shooting death of Alton Sterling and perhaps pursuing criminal charges. Sterling was selling homemade CDs outside a store last summer before his confrontation with police. Cell phone video shows him struggle with the 2 officers, and a police report says Sterling was initially jolted with a stun gun when he didn't comply with officers' commands. Dave.
Tanya, 3 U.S. troops have been wounded in Afghanistan when ISIS bombed a military convoy, killing 8 civilians. Fox News Radio, fair and balanced.
If you're familiar with cloud computing, you probably know that Amazon Web Services offers a complete set of secure compute, storage, application, and deployment services that help companies launch and scale their IT infrastructures while lowering costs. But did you know that you're still responsible for protecting your own AWS-based assets, meaning your applications and data, from advanced cyber threats? Protect your AWS with Barracuda Network's advanced firewall solutions. Visit AWS Marketplace or barracuda.com/AWS to learn more.
Are you looking for senior care for your mom or dad but don't know where to start? Hi, I'm Joan London with The Place for Mom. Nobody knows your parent or loved one better than you, and nobody knows senior living better than the experts at A Place for Mom. It's a free service, and we've helped thousands of families find the right place for their mom or dad. There's a place for answers, a place for mom. Call today.
Call A Place for Mom at 1-800-379-1174. That's 1-800-379-1174.
Mother's Day is next week, and ProFlowers is offering an amazing special: 100 stunning blooms for mom plus a free glass vase for $19.99 plus shipping and handling. Go to proflowers.com and enter the secret code 500. But hurry, this deal expires this Friday. 100 colorful blooms for mom for $19.99. Satisfaction guaranteed or your money back, plus a free glass vase. The only way to get this amazing deal is to go to proflowers.com, click on the blue microphone in the upper right corner, and enter the secret code 500.
Looks like some cable and phone companies are trying to sell home security. But when a burglar sees one of their signs in the front yard, what does it say? Oh, wow, this home has 599 channels. Or, oh, these guys have high-speed internet. But the ADT sign, it says, this family trusts the company whose name means security. So beat it. It's no wonder 5 times more people choose ADT to protect their homes.
Learn more at ADT.com and to see licensing and terms and conditions.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Get Down to Business with Shalom Klein, the show for business and jobs powered by Tandem HR. Heard Sunday evenings at 6.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. We're coming to you live from Right at Home in-home care and assistance in scenic Orland Park this morning, part of our AM 560 Signature Bank Business Tour. And Amy, Hillary Clinton is back out there talking to Christiana Amanpour, or Kuala Lumpur, as Don Wade used to call her.
Christiana Yamanpour.
Getting out there talking about the election, because we can't talk about what happened 6 months ago enough. We can't talk about the 2016 election enough. And I'm for one, am glad to hear her talking about it. I think it's cathartic for her. I think it's the predicate for her to run for president again in 2020, which I'm a huge supporter of. I really hope that she comes back to try and vindicate herself in 2020.
Do you think she's going to do that?
I hope so.
Joe Biden's out, just in case you were wondering. If you're keeping a scorecard.
Yeah, Joe Biden, who would be like 77 in 2020, and, and still a nitwit. So that would be difficult for him to mount a presidential campaign. Elizabeth Warren, she'll be in her early 70s if she runs in 2020. The youth movement in the Democrat Party, Hillary Clinton would be in her early 70s, too.
I was watching State of the Union with Jake Tapper over the weekend, and they were trying to figure out what Hollywood star could run for president, since, the Republicans put up Trump, who's, a Hollywood guy.
What about that young upstart Bernie Sanders?
Oh, yeah, that little young whippersnapper. Yeah, that could be a possibility.
That's real smart on the left's the left's part to go from that. How can we replicate this
what the Republicans
anomaly?
did.
That's like us trying to say, how can we replicate the anomaly of Obama? You can't. Although you can continue to push us towards celebrity politics. That's a possibility. And you can replace one solipsist with another to some extent. But here's the question. Hillary Clinton do you want to see her run for president again in 2020 and try and vindicate herself? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. I'll tell you what, she's grown up. She accepted responsibility for the loss right before she turned around and pinned it on Comey and WikiLeaks.
It wasn't a perfect campaign. There is no such thing. But I was on the way to winning until the combination of Jim Comey's letter on October 28th and Russian WikiLeaks raised doubts in the minds of people who were inclined to vote for me but got scared off. And the evidence for that intervening event is, I think, compelling, persuasive. And so we overcame a lot in the campaign. We overcame an enormous barrage of negativity, of false equivalency, and so much else. But as Nate Silver, who doesn't work for me, he's an independent analyst, but one considered to be very reliable, has concluded you know, if the election had been on October 27th, I'd be your president. And it wasn't. It was on October 28th, and there was just a lot of funny business going on around that. And ask yourself this, within an hour or two of the Hollywood Access tape being made public, the Russian theft of John Podesta's emails hit WikiLeaks. What a coincidence.
Oh, she's really taking responsibility.
Yeah, isn't that inspired?
No, she went on to say it's not my fault that we lost. I mean, because she thinks Comey played a hand in it. Donald Trump, by the way, immediately tweeted saying, FBI Director Comey was the best thing that ever happened to Hillary Clinton in that he gave her a free pass for many bad deeds.
So here's the thing about Hillary Clinton's rather...
Mea culpa, or what?
One, I've missed her. And those kind of answers is why I've missed her, because those kind of answers are why she's not president of the United States and never will be. But here's the thing about the Hillary Clinton conspiracy theorizing.
Mm-hmm.
The Hollywood Access tape, a day later, WikiLeaks releases the hacked Podesta emails. We talked about this during the campaign, if you recall, and Hollywood, Access Hollywood, they had that tape for
11 years.
A decade. They knew they had that tape. Why did they release it? It
was a weekend of the last presidential debate.
48 hours before a presidential debate in October. Do you think they were holding it for a little bit of an October surprise?
You know what? I think so.
You think so? And so do you think WikiLeaks was waiting for Hillary's October surprise so they could put an October surprise right back on her? So her October surprise, that's cool. That's no problem. Yeah. That's fair game. Their October surprise, not that I support hacking of emails, but their October surprise, she's crying foul about. These are things, if Hillary Clinton would have been in the opposite position, if she would have been in the Trump position, essentially, with Trump's attorney and campaign chairman having his emails hacked and having damaging things in those emails, do you think she would be complaining about WikiLeaks releasing them a day after she had gotten some bad news?
And then don't forget,
I don't think so.
And don't forget the timing of all those women coming forward saying that Trump sexually harassed them or made unwanted advances on them. But she said, through this whole process, she's learning more about interference.
Every day that goes by, we learn more about some of the unprecedented interference, including from a foreign power whose leader is not a member of my fan club.
Meaning Putin. That Putin was not a fan of Hillary Clinton, so Putin had hackers go into their emails and make them public.
Well, and it's unfortunate he wasn't, because she certainly was a fan of his when she was Secretary of State. She was the architect of the Russian reset.
Yeah, Russian reset.
Remember, and the whispering Barack Obama into Medvedev's ear about, have more flexibility after this pesky election in 2012.
Well, last night.
Just hold on a second there.
Okay.
So, all of her answers yesterday in that forum with Amanpour are just a recitation of the blame shifting that she did her entire career. You know what this reminded me of as well? In addition to, pointing out Hillary's hypocrisy. I mean, that's fish in a barrel. But remember Benghazi?
Yeah.
2011. And here's how Hillary Clinton accepted responsibility for what happened on her watch. She was out of the country. She accepted responsibility generically and generally so that she didn't have to address anything specifically. And then they trot out Susan Rice to give that bull jive story about a spontaneous protest and this being
we're linked to that video.
A response to the Nakula video. Right. So well, that's
I know,
the
that's
guy's
his name. I know.
So
like a rapper, Nakula.
But so this is Hillary. She is preternaturally incapable of telling the truth. She is preternaturally incapable of accepting responsibility for the decisions she makes, and that's why she's never going to be president of the United States,
seems
despite all of the infrastructure that's been built to support that eventuality.
She seems so angry yesterday, and just you've got, what do you teach kids? It's not how you win, it's how you lose. Poise and grace. And she's not there. I don't think she's ever going to get there. She's so angry. And yesterday you could see that in her eyes. You can feel it.
Yes, poison, grace are not adjectives that are going to be applied to Hillary Clinton. Not
But they asked her,
legitimately.
too, 33 million college-educated women did not vote for you.
Right.
And she really didn't have an answer. It started shifting. But with Comey, it's because of the emails
Jim
and the timing
Comey.
of the emails.
Jim
Comey cost me the election. She
what-
said that 3 times.
But now she's looking forward.
Uh-huh. So spend more time with her family. Does her family want to spend more time with her?
Well, Chelsea's very busy accepting awards for things she hasn't really done. So I don't know that she'll have the time.
Oh.
Now, this is some time for Bill and her.
Oh, to rekindle their romance?
I mean, they're just as in love as when they met in that Yale library.
I wanted to touch her back, but I knew I shouldn't. Pervert.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah.
Don't touch anybody's back.
Loofah gloves on the guy. Loofah mitts or whatever they
Why did you have to bring loofah mitts up?
Because I think O'Reilly's launching a line in his retirement. But in addition to that, Hillary Clinton, she's down with the struggle, little lady. She's part of the resistance, the Antifa.
But, I can't be anything other than who I am. And I spent decades learning about what it would take to move our country forward, including people who, clearly didn't vote for me, to try to make sure that we dealt with a lot of these hard issues that are right around the corner, like robotics and artificial intelligence, and things that are really going to be upending the economy for the vast majority of Americans, to say nothing of the rest of the world. So, I'm now back to being an activist citizen and part of the resistance.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, last night she was at the 100th anniversary gala honoring Planned Parenthood.
Of course.
And she said that groups of men, ready? Groups of men, like binders full of women, groups of men in Washington, D.C. are deciding the future of women's health protections. A not so subtle slam on President Trump.
Meanwhile, Bill Clinton is back in Chappaqua experimenting with artificial intelligence himself and those sex bots that are becoming so popular, I believe.
What are you talking about?
Matt in Lake Geneva, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
I have 2 thoughts I want to run by you. First is I would love to have her run again. Because
Me too.
Could put up Bozo the Clown against her, and he'd probably be our next president. I did hear on our local news affiliate, and this is just all speculation, but Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook has a quest to visit at least one person from each state over the next couple of years, and people are wondering if maybe he might be intending to run for president as a Democrat, and that does concern me because all those uneducated snowflakes would just vote for the guy because he's in their demographic age range. He put out the most ultimate platform that they use day in and day out, and I really believe that if he were to run, it would be detrimental for the Republicans because I think a lot of young snowflake voters would really come out of the woodwork for him.
Well, the
Thanks for
family
the call, Matt.
the family that he visited in Ohio over the weekend registered Democrats who voted for Donald Trump in the election. Although they didn't talk about politics, but that's the family that he just happened to choose in Ohio.
Mark Zuckerberg's a dink.
Well, he's
we're
trying
not-
to be.
We're not going to elect a president who wears a T-shirt.
But that's cool, man.
Yeah.
That's what the kiddies are wearing.
You have to have some command. You have to be able to speechify. I haven't seen a lot of that from Mark Zuckerberg. So the money issue, right? So he's got unlimited funds.
billionaire,
Yeah. Sometimes, as I like to say, there's not enough money in the world to sell manure-smelling air freshener. That's what Mark Zuckerberg is. One other point on Facebook, down with the snowflakes and the millennials. Are they the dominating mover on Facebook these days? Or have they moved on to Instagram and
Snapchat
and other social media forums?
Yeah,
Seems
the
to me
kiddies-
seems to me Facebook, the median age of the consistent Facebook user continues to go up.
Right, and it's you people.
It's
You're the senior citizens.
It's seniors who need in-home care and assistance from Right at Home, which is why we're in Orland Park today, so I could get a bath. Chuck in Delavan, Wisconsin, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Sponge bath.
Yeah, you were talking about how they released that tape with Trump. That was when George Ryan, my wonderful congressman, had to throw Donald Trump out and turn around and say, Paul Ryan, and he says, hey, there's an elephant in the room. I'm gonna, and he threw Trump and he threw the vice president out of the party, and there was a lot of hate and discontent. Everybody was confused, like, oh wow, well she's got it in a bag. Well, to put things in perspective with these people, these are the same people that when that poor guy, the Navy SEAL, and I'll say it again, I said it once, and when they sat there and that poor widow was standing up there crying, these people sat on her hands. These group of people are totally sick when they can't acknowledge that. And that's what's wrong with our country. And they just can't get it. They don't understand it. Thank you very much.
Thanks for the call, Chuck. Appreciate it. Mike on the north side, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Why are you leery, Dan?
I don't know what he's going to say.
Hi, Mike.
Hi. Thanks for taking my call. First off, you brought up the two main members of Grumpy Old Menopause.
Yes.
No one's going to vote for Hillary. She couldn't win the prom queen election at an all-male prison. And quit whining about the election after all this time. What difference does it make? And the other one from Massachusetts, Senator Hiawatha, nobody cares about it. Your 15 minutes of fame are over. Now, the reason I called Dan, you have to practice what you preach. You can't be putting money in the pockets of the Chicago machine. You can't be spending money on Uber. They funnel money to Ron. You can't buy Coca-Cola. They funnel money to Daley. They put him on their board after he wrecked Chicago. Now, Dan, you can't go.
So can I use Lyft? Can I? What rideshare service am I allowed to use, Mike?
How about a taxi? How about somebody paying taxes to the city?
I do use taxis all
the
the
time.
time.
Now, Dan, I've been watching the podcast for a while.
I shop based on price.
Yeah, it seems like you've been shopping at Target lately. Now, come on.
I don't go to Target. I've never been in a Target.
Okay, down the street from your favorite Dunkin' Donuts is a perfectly good Kmart. If you got to go blue collar, don't go Target, go Kmart.
Yep.
Thanks for the call, Mike. Is that some kind of shot at my wardrobe?
No, yeah. Well, there is a Kmart at I-90 and I-90 at the Kennedy and Addison you can go to.
I don't go to stores.
When was the last time you were in a grocery store?
Like 97.
Do you remember what you purchased?
I think a Gatorade. Everything else,
I go twice a week. You go 1997?
I went into the Whole Foods, like the adjunct Whole Foods, where you can order sandwiches, just like it's a sandwich shop.
Yeah.
But then I looked in the actual Whole Foods where people are milling about through aisles.
Oh, yeah, we're milling, yeah.
And I was frightened.
Yeah, you get scared, huh?
I didn't know what to do.
It is kind of overwhelming because you don't know where everything is. That's why I go back to the same grocery store.
Yeah.
The Jewels. I know where everything is.
That's the place to be. I want to just set the record straight. Mike on the north side, just for those you scoring at home, we were talking about ridicule earlier. Mike on the north side has trademarked the phrase grumpy old menopause for Hillary Clinton and Elizabeth Warren, who we also call as Hiawatha. Pocahontas, also acceptable answer. Crocodile, also an acceptable answer.
Who came up? Did you come up with Crocodile?
No. Oh. And then Tony on the south side, because we got this north side, south side thing. Mm-hmm. Tony on the north side has coined Tangerine Jesus for Trump. So I just encourage. So we use a lot of nomenclature on this show. So sometimes you just have to do a stop, look, and listen, and make sure people understand who we're referring to by their more colloquial names. Dan and Amy coming to you live from Right at Home in-home care and assistance in Orland Park, part of our AM 560 Signature Bank Business Tour.
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM 560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Today, we're going to have plenty of sunshine, a high of 57 degrees. And tonight, the rain returns. It'll be in spots, a low of 42. And tomorrow, not going to be anywhere near the average temperature for this time of year. We're going to have a high of 50 degrees and occasional rain. Let's get into our alarm detection systems traffic center. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy and Dan. We have some delays on Metra's BNSF line this morning, and there's one cancellation. Train 1220 due to leave Aurora in about 5 minutes is not going to operate. There's been a derailment in the yard. We'll keep an eye on the BNSF line this morning. The Edens running 21 minutes like Cook to Montrose, outbound 20. Inbound Kennedy, 26 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, outbound still fine. Inbound Eisenhower delays start at Wolf Road. It's now 49 minutes. Thorndale to downtown, outbound 32. Stevenson, 48 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound, it's fine. Ryan, 22 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 31 minutes, I-80 to the merge. Bishop Ford, 18. Eastbound Adams Tollway slow from the Tri-State to the Kennedy. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Mother's Day is next week, and Pro Flowers is offering an amazing special. 100 stunning blooms for mom, plus a free glass vase for $19.99 plus shipping and handling. Go to proflowers.com and enter the secret code 6868. But hurry, this deal expires this Friday. 100 colorful blooms for mom for $19.99. Satisfaction guaranteed or your money back, plus a free glass vase. The only way to get this amazing deal is to go to proflowers.com. Click on the blue microphone in the upper right corner and enter the secret code 6868.
When you have sleep apnea, traveling can be a real drag because you have to drag your big, bulky home CPAP device with you everywhere you go. But not anymore. Now you can travel easily and sleep comfortably anywhere thanks to Transcend, the world's very first mini CPAP. And right now, you can try Transcend absolutely risk-free for 10 restful nights. So call now, 1-800-400-1841. Our smallest and most advanced portable design ever, Transcend is as small as a soda can and weighs less than a pound. You can even add a battery that's as tiny as a deck of cards. Transcend is so incredibly small and light, you can easily fit it in your briefcase or purse to use anywhere you go. It's FAA compliant too, so you can even sleep comfortably while flying. Now you can enjoy the freedom to sleep comfortably anywhere. But don't delay. To receive your 10-night in-home trial, call minicpap.com now. 1-800-400-1841. Again, that's 1-800-400-1841.
AM 560, The Answer.
If you're talking about it, I'll be talking about it. Dennis Prager here. Join me this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, we're live at Right at Home In-Home Care and Assistance in Orland Park, part of our AM 560 Signature Bank Business Tour. And Amy, you're all worked up over the story. The South Carolina police officer who shot and killed Walter Scott has pled out.
Yeah, so he had a state hearing, faced state charges, and it was a hung jury, and he testified, took the stand in his own defense.
In my mind at that time, people don't run from a broken tail light.
So, he said that he was running from him. He thought he was, his life was in danger, so he shot him 5 times in the back. Hung jury. So he had that, and they were going to go again into court. But the federal charges he faced yesterday, the court hearing was supposed to begin in 2 days. But yesterday, in an unprecedented move, he admitted that he used excessive force and killed Walter Scott. So this could lead to little, or some are saying no prison time, or the judge decides in a few weeks what his sentencing will be. But CNN was reporting this morning that he may get 25 years.
He pled out in the civil rights case, the federal charge, and so it's now in the hands of a judge. There'll be a sentencing process where there will be reports filed, but it will not follow the rules of evidence, and the judge could, as you said, has the latitude to go with anything from no prison to life in prison.
Right, or time already served. But his it's so strange because Walter Scott's family, they feel vindicated.
Michael Slager admitted what he did.
The victory was him admitting that he did wrong.
It's unprecedented that somebody would plead out, a police officer.
It's not unprecedented that you plead out to a crime. What's unprecedented about that?
Because he's a police officer, and normally the jury sides with authorities. In most cases where a cop is charged with using excessive force and murder charges.
Mm-hmm.
So he admitted yesterday that he murdered Walter Scott, which was...
He admitted that he violated a Walter Scott's civil rights. Let's be precise about this. The judge will decide if he committed murder, if the violation of his civil rights was murder, and sentence accordingly. I believe that it was at minimum manslaughter, and I believe that Michael Slager should spend a lot of years behind bars.
Well, how much is enough? I mean...
I don't, something commensurate with the crime. within the sentencing guidelines for the crime of killing another person that should have never been killed. Shooting at another person you should have never shot at. Michael Slager's wrong in this. The reason he pled out is because at the federal level, they think their chances are better at getting a sentence where Michael Slager will see the light of day someday rather than going the distance at the federal level. I mean, the fact that he pled out tells you what they believe is the strength of their case at the federal level.
So his attorneys did right by him?
Well, I'll tell you what, you look at that video, and I understand there was a hung jury at the state level. You look at that video, and you tell me what you would advise Michael Slager to do. You think you're going to beat a rap for, as I said, at minimum manslaughter when you shoot somebody in the back 5 times as they're fleeing, as they're running away from you, and they're 30 to 50 feet away from you? Hard case to make out, isn't it? That's a hard self-defense case to make out.
Just for a routine traffic stop.
And by the way, he otherwise would have been retried at the state level too. And so, yeah, there was a hung jury once, and as we know, that takes one juror when you're talking about a criminal trial.
Yeah, like look in the Rod Blagojevich case. Well, one juror.
So Slager and his counsel clearly saying, we think this is the best deal that we can get, and we're not willing to risk another trial at either level.
If Rod Blagojevich would have, he would have been taken the deal that they offered him, he'd have spent 7 years in jail. But he thought since he had a hung jury the first time, no, I'm going to beat it the second time, and he didn't.
Something to remember, too, federal prosecutors' conviction rates, usually north of 95%.
Oh, okay. Well,
so
you've convinced me, Dan.
The odds are not particularly in Slager's favor, and certainly the video evidence cements that. Candace in DuPage, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, that federal prosecution rate doesn't work for Marilyn Mosby, does it?
She's not a federal prosecutor.
Well, whatever. She was stupid.
Well.
So I have a question. Why is it that, like, all these illegals come in here and do the same kind of crimes, serve no time, and they do it like 20 times before we actually catch them federally, on a federal level, when they come in and do a catastrophe in the state? So I think that's kind of interesting that the blacks and the whites are serving their time, but yet there's another class of people who actually have more rights, and they're illegals who are killing and murdering people, raping 2-year-olds, such as that, and like nothing happens to them. So
thanks for the call. Thanks for the call, Candace. Appreciate it. Dan and Amy coming to you live from Right at Home in-home care and assistance in Orland Park.
It's what Chicago is talking about. It's Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560. The Answer.
Introducing the perfect getaway, nestled in the prairie, a place you can go to unload the stress of the day and recharge your inner peace. A place that fills your senses with fresh air and the sweet sounds of your Second Amendment rights being exercised. It's where you go to clear your head.
Set your sights for the Range at 355. Shoot in a brand new state-of-the-art facility with 2 ranges, one programmable for distance and the other for turning and tactical drills, featuring Mancom Touch Plus and Mancom Touch and Go systems. Trust us, it's cool. The Range at 355, situated on a private parcel of wetlands at the crossroads of I-55 and 355, right off Boughton Road. A shooting oasis with a full array of firearms, ammunition, accessories, and classes with professional guidance and courteous instruction. Take a vacation from the mundane. The Range at 355, founded by patriots like you.
For range hours and info, visit range355.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
The Kansas City Archdiocese moves on the Girl Scouts. We'll explain at 6:36.
But first, let's go into the newsroom and say good morning to our good friend Mike Scott.
Sunshine, 41 degrees. Good morning, I'm Mike Scott in the Nissan of St. Charles newsroom. It's Nissan of St. Charles that makes the difference. A manhunt is underway to find the suspects who shot 2 Chicago police officers on the southwest side. Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson.
It's another example of how dangerous this job is. And I think people take it for granted that when police officers come to work every day, they put their lives on the line.
Both officers are hospitalized and expected to survive. Investigators are speaking with multiple people of interest. House Republican leaders say they are making progress in getting the votes needed to pass a revised health insurance reform bill. In a Capitol briefing yesterday, Speaker Paul Ryan.
We're excited about this policy. We're making very good progress with our members, and our president has been instrumental in that.
Ryan insisting the bill to repeal and replace Obamacare offers more choices, lower prices, and protections for pre-existing conditions. President Trump turning his attention to the Middle East today, meeting with Palestinian leader Mahmoud Abbas at the White House. 3 U.S. service members wounded in a bomb attack in Afghanistan, a suicide bomber targeting a NATO convoy today, killing 8. Uber in federal court in San Francisco today. They're trying to fight off allegations that it swiped trade secrets from self-driving car company Waymo. Waymo's owner, Alphabet, Google's parent, wants a judge to stop Uber from developing its own driverless car technology until the case is resolved. Portland, Oregon police say they had to dodge full cans of Pepsi being thrown at them by May Day protesters. Witnesses say earlier protesters tried to offer a can of Pepsi mimicking a commercial involving Pepsi, but they say demonstrators soon started hurling the full cans at police, hitting a medic, and causing riot police to move in. A Will County judge is demanding answers after a 1-year-old girl was found dead last week in Joliet Township. The judge, Paula Gamora, says child welfare workers missed obvious trouble signs. Southern Illinois' flooding problems about to get a lot worse. 3 inches of rain expected today and tomorrow. Mississippi River, the Big Muddy, and Wabash among the rivers swelling out of their banks. An Aurora man facing sentencing for plotting to join the ISIS terror group is now pushing to fire his own lawyers. Abdullah Tunisi filed a letter in court saying he wants to fire his legal team and represent himself. Cubs homer 3 times as they power their way past the Phillies. Jose Quintana and the White Sox blank the Royals 6-0. The news, a service of Live Nation. Live Nation celebrating summer concert season with $20 concert tickets to over 1,000 shows. This offer won't last long. Buy your tickets May 2nd through 9th. Don't miss out. LiveNation.com now. 6:35, time to check the climate of your business with AirComfort.com, providing the right climate for business since 1935. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Skip traffic and save money with Metra's 96% on-time dependability and 10-ride ticket that makes every 10th ride free. For fares and schedules, visit metrorail.com.
The good news? Our business is growing. The bad news? We have to hire again.
Ugh, the searching.
Where do we look?
What if we hire the wrong person?
Actually, we could use ZipRecruiter.
ZipRecruiter?
ZipRecruiter makes hiring fast and easy. With one click, our job would be posted to 100 leading job sites.
But are the candidates any good?
You bet. As soon as we post our job, ZipRecruiter starts identifying the best matches and notifies them to apply, all within minutes. Well, all right.
Whether you're looking to fill one position or 20, find the best candidates fast with ZipRecruiter. Find out why ZipRecruiter has been used by hundreds of thousands of businesses in a variety of industries nationwide. Right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/work. That's ZipRecruiter.com/work. ZipRecruiter.com/work.
Is little Sandy and Stevie no longer little and still living at home? Hi, Barry Sterner, founder of Townstone Financial. I have great news. It's never been easier to buy a new home with Townstone Financial than today. If you're looking to purchase a new home for yourself or trying to get Sandy or Stevie into their first home, the time to do it is now. We currently have a home purchasing program that only requires 1% of the purchase price as a down payment. So on a $200,000 purchase, you only need $2,000 for the down payment. We have a second purchase program to help borrowers qualify who have a lot of student loan debt or or credit card debt. This program allows us to use the income of a non-occupying cosigner, such as a parent or friend, to help you qualify for the new home purchase. Lastly, if you have a large amount of debt, let us help you with a cash-out refinance. Give me a call now at 312-896-2110. Remember, nobody values your home purchase and refinance business more than Townstone. So dial 312-896-2110 or go to townstone.com. That's TOWNSTONE.com.
Townstone Financial is an Indiana, Wisconsin, Illinois mortgage licensee 6629 and NMLS 136639.
It is 6:37. Let's check the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Metro reports a cancellation and some delays on the BNSF line after a derailment in the Aurora Yard. Edens is 21 minutes. Lake Hook to Montrose outbound 20. Kennedy 26 minutes. O'Hare to downtown outbound 22. Inbound Eisenhower. Heavy Wolf to Des Plaines Avenue. We're in Costner much of the rest of the way in. It is 50 minutes from Thorndale to downtown. Outbound 32. Stevenson now an hour and 15 minutes. 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. Delay start at Weber Road. It's an hour from the Tri-State. Outbound 37 minutes to 3:55. Ryan is 22 minutes. 95th to downtown. Northbound Tri-State. Bumper to bumper from the Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue Curve. Traffic is a service of Lowe's. Pro customers at Lowe's save 5% on every purchase every day when you use your Lowe's Business Credit Account. That's 5% on all purchases in-store or online. Subject to credit approval, U.S. only. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Jim, thank you. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the aircomfort.com Weather Center. Clouds and sun today, high near 57. We'll start out with brilliant sunshine this morning and a temperature of 39. Next news at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is sponsored by Wine Time Radio. Every Saturday at 5 p.m. on AM 560, explore the wonderful world of wine with host James Crooker and Rob Lehner.
Your money. Find out how to keep more of it and live debt-free. Tonight on The Dave Ramsey Show, starting at 7 on AM 560. The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. We're coming to you live from leafy Orland Park in the southwest suburbs. We're right at home, in-home care and assistance, part of our AM 560 Signature Bank Business Tour, our last stop on this season's business tour in Orland Park, or as it's been renamed, Keith Peacow Land.
Keith, what is it?
The new mayor of Orland Park.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right.
Supported him.
Yeah. I love driving down LaGrange Road. There's no finer road. Isn't that a beautiful road?
Yeah.
You can reconnect with nature. There's a forest preserve. You got to watch out for deer. I almost hit Bambi driving down here. But that's good. And this is a beautiful place. And we're going to speak to the owners, Dave and Allison Adanovich.
Oh, come on. That's not even close.
Adanovich.
Oh, that's worse. You're getting further away. Adanovich. We apologize.
This is why Dan does the rhetorical heavy lifting here.
We are going to talk to them in the 7 o'clock hour, so you want to stay tuned for that. They provide personal care, in-home services for seniors, and that includes companion services. So I've signed up so that somebody will take me to the mall to get a nice pair of slacks.
And then later on, we're going to give you a sponge bath.
Yeah, I want to see what their bathing services are like. So we'll do that on the air as well. So you want to stay tuned for that. Here's a fun story. An archdiocese in Kansas City, Catholics strike back. It's nice to see this, actually.
I love you, Catholics.
Thank you very much. We love to be loved. Kansas City, Kansas residents who might be craving Thin Mints will soon find themselves out of luck. Girl Scouts, Girl Scout leaders in Kansas City are a little bit perturbed because pastors from their local archdiocese began looking at how to sever ties with the Girl Scouts because the Girl Scouts have become too politically liberal.
Nice.
The Archbishop of the Kansas City Diocese, I have asked the pastors to begin the process of transitioning away from the hosting of parish Girl Scout troops and toward the chartering of American Heritage Girls troops. American Heritage Girls, are you familiar with this, Amy?
No.
You don't keep up with this?
I was in Indian Princesses, all right? We went hunting
and
fishing.
Whoa, Native American.
Hey, no, we were the Kickapoo tribe. Guess what my name was?
Pocahontas.
No, my tribe name was Little Wildflower because I could never sit still and I was always out doing things.
Yeah.
My dad was Chief Red Cloud.
Oh, look, a bird.
What was
Right.
my
and then you
sister. My
scamper
sister
off.
was Pocahontas, my middle sister.
Uh-huh.
What was
All
my
right.
older
well,
sister's
that's
name?
enough. I think
know.
that's enough denigrating of Native Americans.
Well,
for
no,
one
that's
show.
we used to have them. We'd have Wicked Weirdo. We'd have campouts every season, and you'd sleep in these cabins, and then you'd pass the Wicked Weirdo as a tribal head. It's probably you're right. Couldn't happen. It's not called Indian Princesses anymore. It was through the YMCA, and it was so fun. And we'd do pass in the middle of the night, put the Wicked Weirdo in different cabins and fun things like that.
It's Amy Jacobson there commenting on Native Americans, their heritage, their history in these parts.
But we
If
learned
you
about a
wanna
lot of
send a letter,
Native
an email.
Americans. Yeah, we stop it.
So the question is.
So the question is, what would your Indian name be? 312-642-5600.
Yeah.
Singing bird.
Oh, you just want to continue to dig in a hole. You stop
It's
digging.
what-
You don't continue digging.
All right. Anywho, so yes,
The
that's
real
why I wasn't
question.
in Girl Scouts.
Okay, boy, that's
If you wanted to
about
know
a long
why.
way around to that answer. Grief. The question is,
Yes.
for our friends and listening audience, are your girls in Girl Scouts? Are they in American Heritage Girls? I don't know if there's troops around here, but American Heritage Girls started about 20 years ago in response to the Girl Scouts becoming so liberal. Remember, the Girl Scouts of America, not the kids, but the organization, was donating money to Planned Parenthood.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, well, that's a problem.
Right.
That's a problem for a lot of people, and it should be. It should be a problem for everybody. But the bottom line is understanding what organizations that your children are part of are doing and the values they're representing. That's a legitimate point, and this is what gave rise to the American Heritage Girls Troops, and this is what the Kansas City Archdiocese is doing, is saying, hey, look, you can believe whatever you want, but you're just not using our property to advance an agenda that is at odds with the catechism. What's wrong with that? The pastors, are, according to the Archbishop, are given a choice of making the transition quickly or over the next several years graduate the scouts currently in the program. But you have people, of course, complaining about that because they feel entitled to property to which they're not entitled. But it's interesting to see an archdiocese stand up and point this out, maybe under pressure because there has been more scrutiny of the Girl Scouts and the Boy Scouts and these organizations and what they actually do with the resources that they accumulate from participants. It's a legitimate point. Certainly with change in policy, like Boy Scouts allowing for gay scout leaders, identifying as boys to be Boy Scouts.
Oh, that's right.
What
So if you're a Girl Scout, but you feel like you're a Boy Scout.
Well, here's the thing. And by the way, so with respect to the Boy Scouts becoming more liberal too, Rexon's influence notwithstanding, Rex Tillerson very involved with the Boy Scouts.
My nephew's an Eagle Scout.
You putting your boys in Boy Scouts. Right? Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, not what they used to be. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Listen to this story. This is a teenage girl who wants to be a Boy Scout. She is in Manhattan. Of course she is. Sydney, Ireland, if that is her real name.
Sydney, Ireland. It sounds like a stripper name.
Hey, she's
oh,
just
sorry.
a little girl.
Sorry. Oh, just as a little innocent
16-year-old who's
16-year-old who wants to be a
trying
boy.
to destroy the Boy Scouts. No, she doesn't want to be a boy. This
Oh.
is the interesting part. This is not somebody who identifies as the opposite gender.
Mm-hmm.
She just wants to be in the Boy Scouts. She's been involved with scouting since she was 4 years old when she began tagging along with her older brother to Cub Scout meetings. Since then, she's been an unofficial but enthusiastic member of Troop 414 in Manhattan. But now she's 16, and she's pushing the Boy Scouts of America to allow girls like her to become official members. The troop has welcomed Sydney's participation, but she can't earn merit badges or advance in rank along with the boys around her, because she ain't one. And that's the national policy of Boy Scouts of America until they walk away from that, too. Like they've been pressured to walk away from everything else. She started a change.org petition saying, I just want to see a change. Right now, they're discriminating against girls. I'm just calling it as it is. This is what happens when you let Condi Rice and Gina Rometty into Augusta. And then once Augusta National falls, the Boy
And then
Scouts are
everything
never far
falls.
behind.
But that, you know what? That's
Hold tough, Bobolink. Hold fast, Old Elm. Don't ever change, Butler National. We're rooting for you, Black Sheep.
Oh, you know what? The best story ever. Where was it that a golfer collapsed and a female EMT showed up and they wouldn't let her in to save him? Yeah. I hope. Did he pass?
Died happy with a smile on his face.
Rules are rules. Even though you're a paramedic, you can't come in here, please. What are you afraid is going to happen? Really? Tell me. If women are allowed at Bobolink or Old Elm, what's going to happen?
You may see one of the Ditkas micturating on the greens. You don't want to see that.
What is it that you fellas do over there that you don't want the ladies to see?
If
you walk around naked in a clubhouse,
and on the
maybe
course.
you're.
It's freeing. It's just like you on LaGrange Road. We kind of connect to nature. The director of communications for the Boy Scouts responded to Miss Ireland's petition and her claim of discrimination. The Boy Scouts of America are not allowing a girl to be an official member. That's discrimination. It's the Boy Scouts of America. Okay. We understand the values and lessons of scouting are attractive to the entire family. The Boy Scouts of America serves boys and young men through the Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts, which are year-round programs specifically for boys in the first grade through age 18.
Maybe she just feels more comfortable in the company of men. Maybe she's trying to get a date. Maybe, unlike you, she'd like to go to prom someday, Dad.
Maybe.
Maybe this is a brilliant move on her part.
Bill in LaSalle County, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
All she needs to do is find a troop that's called a Venturer Troop. It used to be called Explorers. Boys and girls are allowed in the Venturers part of the Boy Scouts of America. And just like you, Amy, one of my sons is an Eagle Scout.
Yep.
Oh, very good. Thanks for the call, Bill. Here's the problem. Here's what you don't understand. This assumes that this is just an innocent effort to participate. And if there was an alternative that filled the need or the desire to participate in activities like Boy Scouts conduct, then that would settle the matter. No. Oh, isn't that cute? It's so silly. It's fun. People are cute at this age in their mid-40s and 50s and 60s. This is about tearing down institutions. This is about saying that I want what I want when I want it. I will have access to anybody's private club, private property at my whim. And if you don't give me what I want, then it's discrimination. And we're looking for a reason to tear you down, because that's what this is all about. This is this is an extension of redefinition of everything. Do you understand the left's perspective here? You can't satisfy them with a reasonable, substantive response because they want to destroy the organization or the institution that you value. That's the play. The naivete, as we see this steady march of redefinition and the steady undermining of important civic organizations and the little platoons of democracy, as Burke referred to them, that make America so unique, and then people don't get what's happening, what the actual perspective is, the premise from which the left is starting, the people who say, I want to be a Boy Scout even though this is for boys. Connect the dots, people. Tom in Deer Park, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, good morning. Amy, I was in the Adventure Guide, the Mighty Sun Tribe. Our daughter was Rainbow Butterfly. Great program. It gives me pause to come up with Dan's Adventure Guide name, as it's now called. Chief Interloculator.
Chief Interlocutor? Is that what you said?
Interloculator.
Interloculator? What's that?
I'm mumbling.
Oh. Chief, it's I
Chief,
see. I see. Oh,
I
see
don't
what
get
you're-
it.
I see what
I'm
you're
Pronounce
blonde.
it, Dan. Pronounce it for me. I'm stumbling.
saying. Chief interlocutor.
Interlocutor. Someone
Inter-
that-
interlocutor.
Dialogue.
This bit's getting a little wearing on me. All right, thanks for the call.
I mean,
Tom.
isn't that a part of my car?
Text from 847. Girls joining the Boy Scouts. Lord Baden-Powell is rolling over in his grave. Yes, he is. Dan and Amy coming to you live from Orland Park, right at home, in-home care and assistance, part of our AM 560 Signature Bank Business Tour.
The stories you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
For less, removing penalties and fees and stopping levies and garnishment. Call the professionals at Rapid Resolution. I'm Tax Group at 800-6 So the Fed makes it 1-29-29 decision on interest. That rates today, and we 800-60 have several.
Don't go to bed another night worrying about unfiled tax returns or the letters or the calls you're getting from the IRS. If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS, there's actually good news. The IRS has recently enacted changes in the tax law called the Fresh Start Initiative, specifically for troubled taxpayers who owe the IRS. You may be able to settle your entire tax debt for up to 85% off the original amount owed, including penalties and interest, if you qualify. Call for your free consultation with Comprehensive Tax Solutions. No matter what tax issue you're facing, one call to Mary Karpowitz of Comprehensive Tax Solutions, family owned in Chicagoland, can show you the difference between night and day so that you can enjoy what matters most to you. Don't spend another day or night hiding from the IRS. Call 708-478-6770, 708-478-6770, or go to resolveyourtaxproblems.com. That's resolveyourtaxproblems.com with Comprehensive Tax Solutions.
We want to say hello to Jim in Libertyville, who's an AT&T tech and listens to us regularly during the 6 and 7 a.m. hours. Some interlocutor I am, and you learned a new word today.
I did. That means you're a conversationalist.
Yeah.
I thought it was a fuel injection pump. Today, we want to remind you about the 100 Club of Chicago, because that is the charity we're supporting through our annual golf outing coming up on Thursday, June 15th at the Bolingbrook Golf Club. The 100 Club's mission is simple. It's to provide financial and education assistance to the families of fallen first responders, police officers, firefighters, and EMTs. And here's how you can support this great cause and become an AM 560 business benefactor. So what does that mean? Well, you purchase a foursome at our golf outing for $1,196. And as a way of saying thanks, we will give you 25 60-second commercials. That's a $3,000 value. You'll reach AM 560's affluent, sophisticated audience of decision makers, and at the same time, you'll be helping the great work of the 100 Club of Chicago. It's a win-win. So pick up the phone and call Michael Mann right now, 847-871-1527. That's 847-871-1527. Enjoy a great day of golf, support a great charity, and reach new customers when you become a business benefactor. 847-871-1527.
I'm James Furr. I'm a 70-year-old Vietnam veteran, and I have hepatitis C. My main focus was to take care of hepatitis C. Taking Balance of Nature did other things for me. I was feeling more energetic. My mental acuity had increased. When I play golf, I would notice that bending over to line up a putt, I would have a bit of a struggle to stand back up. But even now, 10 years later, I stand up better than I did then. Taking Balance of Nature, getting fruits and vegetables into your system is just another way to deal with hepatitis C. I will live happily with hepatitis C instead of feeling like I want to die because someone's trying to cure me of it. But thanks to Balance of Nature, I live a normal, happy, healthy, pain-free life.
Take Dr. Howard's Health Challenge and find out how to get 2 free sets of fruits and veggies. We'll even ship them to you free. Call now for details. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Chicago.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
It takes a lot of courage to face your own death, but I'm glad I finally did. See, I was putting off getting life insurance to protect my family, even though I knew it was important. Then my neighbor's husband died. I watched her struggle emotionally and financially. It really made me face reality. If my husband died, how would I pay the mortgage, the car payments, or keep up the life the kids and I had? I realized I needed to get us life insurance right away. So I called AIG Direct. In less than 5 minutes, I had a quote. I was shocked at how affordable it is. Just $14 a month for $250,000 of term life coverage. I feel so much better knowing my family has protection.
Call AIG Direct right now for a free no-obligation quote. The call takes less than 5 minutes, and you can save up to 70%. Call now, 1-800-500-5236. That's 1-800-500-5236. 1-800-500-5236.
As the head of procurement for my company, I was sweating a big deadline and got tired of calling my printer for updates, only to hear excuses. So I heard about McGrath Printing Custom Apparel and gave them a call. I got A+ service, and they beat the deadline. McGrath Printing really saved my...
I'm a supply chain manager for a Fortune 500 company, and we had $50,000 of product waiting for instruction manuals because our printer couldn't deliver on time. One call to McGrath Printing Custom Apparel, and they saved my...
At McGrath Printing Custom Apparel, they've been saving companies for over 35 years. Give them a call at 815-356-5246. That's 815-356-5246. And mention code AM560 and get 20% off your first order. So remember,
go to where the pros go. McGrathPrint.com. McGrathPrint.com.
847-926-0700. This number can bring thousands of extra dollars right to your pocket. The Art House Gallery is back in Chicago. Do you have any jewelry or diamonds, silver, or antiques, paintings, porcelain, Fabergé, high-end pocket or wristlet watches, Rolex, Patek Philippe, IWC, Cartier, Tiffany, or Breitling? If you do, call the Art House Gallery now at 847-926-0700 and get your cash today. Meet in their office in Highland Park or in the privacy of your own home or bank. Call now, 847-926-0700.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Can Republicans pass tax reform without nuking the Dems? We'll ask Steve Moore. We'll also ask him about Jim DeMint's untimely departure from the Heritage Foundation. That's at 7:07.
But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, here are the stories we are watching this morning on AM 560. The Answer. 2 Chicago police officers shot on the southwest side. We'll get the update from Chicago Police and Superintendent Eddie Johnson. A judge is demanding answers in the death of a Joliet Township girl. We'll explain why. Mayor Emanuel tries to put the brakes on the sale of the Thompson Center. More rain and more dangerous situations for folks in southern Illinois counties. The Obamas are in Chicago today, and the Cubs roll the Phillies while the White Sox blank the Royals. WIND Chicago News Time, 7 o'clock.
Fox News Radio, I'm Dave Anthony. Why was President Trump up late tweeting last night?
The election been on October 27th, I'd be your president.
The next day, FBI Director James Comey reopened the probe into her email scandal, so Hillary Clinton blames that and Russian WikiLeaks for scaring away her voters.
President Trump slamming Clinton for her statements, tweeting this: FBI Director Comey was the best thing that ever happened to Hillary Clinton in that he gave her a free pass for many bad deeds. The phony Trump-Russia story was an excuse used by the Democrats as justification for losing the election. Perhaps Trump just ran a great campaign.
Fox's Jackie Ibanez. The FBI director could face more questions today at a Senate hearing about the investigation into Russian meddling in the campaign. In that probe, there's much talk about Trump advisors unmasked in surveillance among more than a few Americans under NSA scrutiny. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, a new intelligence report shows the NSA agreed to reveal the identities of more than 1,900 Americans who were incidentally caught up in surveillance last year. Usually the names of private citizens are blacked out in intelligence documents. President Trump has claimed that former National Security Advisor Susan Rice ordered the names of campaign associates to be revealed last year and that she may have broken the law. Over the weekend, Rice told CNN she never did anything untoward in regards to intelligence. Dave.
Rachel, Chicago police are searching for whoever ambushed 2 officers last night.
One, possibly 2 vehicles pulled alongside them and started firing indiscriminately at the officers.
Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson says both are recovering well. A white police officer fired over the weekend shooting death of a black teenager in Texas.
After reviewing the findings,
I have made the decision to terminate Roy Oliver.
Balk Springs Police Chief Jonathan Haber. Oliver fired at a car full of teens driving away from a house party in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. A vigil as word spread the Justice Department will not charge the 2 white police officers who killed a black man last July in a confrontation outside a store. Fox News Radio, fair and balanced.
Sunshine in Chicago, 41 degrees at 7:02 on AM 560, The Answer. Good morning, everyone. I'm Mike Scott in the Nissan of St. Charles newsroom. It's Nissan of St. Charles that makes the difference. A manhunt underway to find suspects who shot 2 Chicago police officers on the southwest side.
It's another example of how dangerous this job is. And I think people take it for granted that when police officers come to work every day, they put their lives on the line.
Superintendent Eddie Johnson saying the officers were sitting in a vehicle last night near 43rd and Ashland when people inside 2 other vehicles began shooting at them. Investigators are now speaking with multiple people of interest. A Will County judge demanding answers after a 1-year-old girl was found dead in a Joliet Township home. During a hearing yesterday, Judge Paula Gamora said child welfare workers obviously missed signs of trouble. Southern Illinois flooding problems are about to get a lot worse. Forecasters say they expect as much as 3 inches of rain today and tomorrow. Already the Mississippi, Big Muddy, Wabash, and other rivers in southern Illinois are swelling out of their banks. Mayor Emanuel says there's a good reason he's not ready to approve Governor Rauner's plans to sell the Thompson Center in the Loop to developers. AM 560's David Stewart explains why.
Mayor Emanuel says Governor Rauner's push to sell the Thompson Center shouldn't go forward until an important question is answered, namely what happens to the busy CTA subway station and the L stop that are part of the state office building.
If you sell it and it has to come down, who builds it? Who takes the cost? I'm not going to stick that on Chicago taxpayers. The developer or the state has to do it.
At a cost of $80 to $120 million, Rauner wants to sell the building to developers who would tear it down and put up a mixed-use high-rise. Rauner envisions a building of 100 stories or more. David Stewart, NBC News Radio, Chicago.
The rates many Indiana toll road drivers pay will dramatically jump next month when a state subsidy ends after more than a decade. The Indiana Toll Road Concession Company says 2-axle vehicles with the electronic transponders will be charged the same as those without starting June 1st. State officials established the discounted rate to ease toll increases for frequent toll road drivers after the 2006 deal leasing the highway to a private operator. Cubs over the Phillies 8-3. Jose Quintana and the first-place White Sox shut out the Royals 6-0. The news, a service of Live Nation. Live Nation celebrating summer concert season with $20 concert tickets to over 1,000 shows. This offer won't last long. Buy your tickets May 2nd through May 9th. Don't miss out. Visit livenation.com now. 7:04 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
You need to switch your cell phone service to Patriot Mobile. Patriot Mobile was founded to support conservative causes while providing the same great nationwide cell phone coverage that you're already used to enjoying. Patriot Mobile allows you to donate up to 5% of your monthly bill to the conservative organization of your choice at no extra cost to you. Do what I'm doing. Do like me. Switch to Patriot Mobile and support the conservative agenda. Switch today and get a free iPhone with a $50 unlimited talk, text, and data plan, or a free Galaxy phone with a $45 unlimited talk, text, and data plan. They will also buy out your current contract up to $500 per line. There's no catch. Call 800-A-PATRIOT, and Patriot Mobile will even waive your activation fee with promo code Joe. Or go to patriotmobile.com/Joe.
Mother's Day is next week, and Pro Flowers is offering an amazing special. 100 stunning blooms for mom plus a free glass vase for $19.99 plus shipping and handling. Go to proflowers.com and enter the secret code 500. But hurry, this deal expires this Friday. 100 colorful blooms for mom for $19.99. Satisfaction guaranteed or your money back, plus a free glass vase. The only way to get this amazing deal is to go to proflowers.com. Click on the blue microphone in the upper right corner and enter the secret code 500.
ADT presents What to Consider When Considering Home Security. An ADT sign is more than a sign. It's a line in the sand. On one side, your family. On the other, an uncertain world.
For over 140 years, more people have chosen ADT to help prevent crime than anyone else. Get ADT starting at just $28.99 a month.
Tested, trusted, proven ADT.
With 36-month contract for licensing and terms and conditions, visit ADT.com.
7:06 and a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. On eastbound 8094, the jam cam from NDOT shows delays from Clay to Ripley. Westbound, it's heavy. I-65 to Grant. That's due to road work, and it's also slow on northbound I-65 from 8094 to 15th Avenue. Inbound Eden's delays start at Niles Center. 31 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose. Outbound 25. Inbound Kennedy at the Hubbard Tunnel. A crash in the left lane. It is now an hour and 6 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. 34 minutes from Montrose. 31 on the Express. Outbound 23 minutes to Montrose and 44 to the airport. Inbound Eisenhower. An hour and 19 minutes. Thorndale to downtown. An hour 3 from Manheim. Outbound 51 minutes to Thorndale. Stevenson, an hour and 20 minutes. 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 50 minutes. The Rhine is 24 minutes. 95th to downtown. Southbound Lakeshore Drive, slow 18th to the Stevenson. Northbound Tri-State delays are from Southwest Highway to the Mylong Bridge and very heavy from the Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue curve. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560. The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the aircomfort.com Weather Center with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Today, clouds and sun, high 57. Tonight, cloudy with occasional rain late at night, low 42. Breezy with occasional rain tomorrow, high 51. And a mostly cloudy night, breezy with a low 41. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560. The Answer.
Currently 39 at O'Hare, 46 along the lakefront. Your next news update is at 7:30, and Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Bolingbrook Golf Club. For tee times and more, visit BolingbrookGolfClub.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. We're coming to you live from Orland Park. We're at Right at Home, in-home care and assistance. The last stop on our AM 560 Signature Bank Business Tour this spring.
Sad that it's over.
That's fun. It's fun to come to these different businesses and
meet new people, meet new friends.
Learn what they do and how businesses are being successful in the worst governed state in the country.
And these folks just happen to be White Sox fans, and you graciously offered them your tickets.
Yeah, we stick together. I like people who enjoy good baseball. First place caliber baseball. White Sox are in first place. They're a half a game better than the Cubs.
Right, for now.
Well, that's
we're not even a third
what matters
into
is right
the
now.
season,
What
right?
matters is right now.
Okay.
Just this moment. This is what matters.
This is it, Dan.
So we'll talk to them at the bottom of the hour, the proprietors of Right at Home. But
And then we're going to give you a sponge bath at 8:08, because that's what they do. They help.
they provide personal care
At-home care.
services, companionship services for seniors.
Mhm.
So obviously, I'm kind of a wheelhouse candidate for the services they provide.
Yeah.
So here's the question, though, put to you about the budget deal. The Democrats were crowing about it Friday into the beginning of the week. But then Republicans tried to take victory away from the Democrats rhetorically, if not substantively. And the question is, do you buy what Donald Trump, the president, and the vice president, and his budget director are selling, that this budget deal was actually a victory for Trump and a victory for the American people? This was part of changing the culture in D.C. This was part of draining the swamp. Listen to Vice President Pence on with Rush Limbaugh yesterday, rare guest appearance going in both directions, to the question of the kind of rather pointed question that the vice president received from Rush.
Why vote Republican? What is the point of voting Republican if the Democrats are going to continue to win practically 95% of their objectives, such as in this last budget deal?
Well, I'd look respectfully, Rush. I actually think this was, as the president said a little while ago, I think this was actually a clear win for the American people. Look, you've had Washington, D.C. that has been paralyzed by gridlock and partisan infighting for many years, and in this new president, you have someone who's able to bring people together and make a $21 billion increase in defense spending at a time of great challenge.
So that is true. There was this $21 billion increase in defense spending, and it was not accompanied with the dollar-for-dollar increase in social services, welfare state spending that has been that was the hallmark of the Obama years. Mm-hmm. Is that enough of a victory? Now, for a little bit more evidence for you to weigh in terms of your decision on this, and we'll take your calls, 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. Listen to Mick Mulvaney. He's, of course, Trump's OMB director, Office of Management and Budget director.
They carted him out instead of Sean Spicer yesterday, and he came out there, and he had photos showing what the wall looks like in certain areas along the border.
Right. Didn't get the wall funding, but got some fence funding, a distinction that's important.
Pretty fence.
Iowa State Cyclone fence.
There are several hundreds of millions of dollars for us to replace cyclone fencing with 20-foot-high steel wall. There's several hundreds of millions of dollars in the bill for us. Can we bring up the other photo, please? If we have the other photo. There's several hundreds of millions of dollars for us to build levees along the southern border. And as many of you know who follow this issue, some of the most vulnerable areas that we have are places along rivers where we desperately need levees in order to provide the protection of the southern border that we need. Okay? We are building this now. There is money in this deal to build several hundreds of millions of dollars of this to replace this.
Yeah.
This to replace it was interactive. Well, he
I mean,
did.
you're talking at DC press corps. You need
show
pictures.
and tell. Yeah, it is show and tell. But President Trump yesterday, he was in the Rose Garden honoring people from Air Force who won the big game.
The
presentation
of the Commander-in-Chief's
trophy. Yes, thank you. And he said this.
After years of partisan bickering and gridlock, this bill is a clear win for the American people.
Right.
Is it a clear win? I mean, then later he tweeted the reason for the planned negotiation between the Republicans and Democrats is that we need 60 votes in the Senate, which are not there. We either elect more Republican senators in 2018 or change the rules now to 51%. Our country needs a good shutdown in September to fix this mess.
Well, right. So if you think the country needs a good shutdown to fix this mess, then it's difficult to see how you can also call what happened on Friday a win or a victory. And by the way, during that same speech in the Rose Garden, Trump had a message for members of Congress with respect to funding the construction of the border wall, as well as providing more resources to increase ICE personnel.
We are beginning to build the wall, and we will keep out the gang members, criminals, drug and human traffickers that threaten our citizens and that threaten our security. Any member of Congress who opposes our plans on border security, and I know these folks didn't, is only empowering these deadly and dangerous threats, and we will not put up with it, and the public won't put up with it.
So, I mean, it's a shot across the bow. The Wall Street Journal opined today on suggesting that this is mainly a victory for the status quo, a victory for government as usual in the swamp. And I think the Wall Street Journal is correct. Take your calls, 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. Sean from Elmwood Park, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
That's exactly who it's a victory for. And no one keeps saying the amount of money it is. It's $1 trillion, another trillion. That's not including the $1 trillion infrastructure. So if you're out there with your Caddyshack hat on and you think this is a good thing, you're an idiot. It's not a good thing. The beat goes on. All the Republicans, it all goes on. The Democrats. Why do you think Chuck Schumer is cheering? Or how about I can't feel my face, Nancy Pelosi? She doesn't know what year it is, and she's all excited about this. So how could it be the Republicans win, and yet the Communist Democrats, they're all excited? Anybody got a clue? because you've been lied to. He's Herbert Nixon. He will spend more, he will tax more, and he will create more bureaucracy. And you can wave your flag in your hat all you want. You've been had.
Thanks for the call, Sean. Measure
and
response.
what people don't know about Sean from Elmwood Park, he thinks, because when he was filling in for you those few days, he told me that Nancy Pelosi is very good looking, that she's hot.
Well,
he has a crush on Nancy Pelosi.
That does go to Sean's judgment, and that should be factored into any comment that you hear from Sean.
Just letting you know.
Sharon in Itasca, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi, thanks for taking my call. I do believe that we lost. Here's the problem. For 7 years, the Republicans have been saying, and they've had basically that brick wall by the name of Obama, we're going to give this bill and we're going to make sure the health bill is going to be overturning Obamacare, knowing full well that the president at the time would have vetoed it. Now they're in. They refuse and line up with one excuse after another to try to pass a new health care bill. And that Fred Upton really proves to be a brick wall standing between liberty, between people like us, and what the Republicans want to do just to keep on getting reelected because they're all fractioned apart. The problem is that the Republicans just can't seem to stay together the way the Democrats can. The one shining light in this whole thing is the defense spending, but Planned Parenthood wasn't defunded. I hate to see what the next two generations are going to get stuck with their tax bill. They're not going to have any wiggle room for anything financial, or we're going to have like a 60% income tax increase to pay for all this. And I know this is just a CR through September, but you know what? Time is going to go by quick. In another 18 months, I mean, the Democrats could take over again in the House. So I don't know why the Republicans just can't get their act together. We're sitting out here scratching our heads, you know? What can I say?
Thanks for the call, Sharon.
Yeah, and there's even talk, for that infrastructure bill, President Trump was talking about raising the federal gas tax, which hasn't been done since 1993, to pay for that.
Yeah, so here's the challenge that Republicans have. If you're not going to do something transformative, then you have to be successful at doing things incrementally. But you can't be beset by doing nothing with majorities. And I don't mean just do something to do something. I mean, you either are going to come together to do big things, or you're going to incrementally move down a path towards big things. But it can't be stasis with governing majorities in both chambers in the President of the United States. And that's sort of what we have now, minus Trump's executive orders and a confirmation of a Supreme Court justice. Now, I'm not going to run around with my hair on fire 100 days in. However, there is the kind of imperative to have early successes, to build onto those successes into the midterm elections and into your reelection, and frankly, to move the country back from the precipice of what Sharon from Itasca was talking about, the $20 trillion in debt, the $100 trillion in unfunded liabilities, the anemic economy in terms of growth, and frankly, wage growth for millions and millions of middle-income American households. I mean, there does need to be a sense of urgency about these things. You don't have to set artificial dates about this, about Obamacare replace, but you do have to move the flag. We're in the move the flag period. And if Republicans continue to just be flag wavers, then they're going to be unified again, because there'll be a unified minority against Speaker Pelosi and Senate Majority Leader Schumer.
Oh, speaking of
Although
Pelosi.
the Senate, admittedly, the Senate is going to be very difficult for Democrats to take over almost under any circumstances, because the number of Democrat senators that are up, particularly those in red states that are vulnerable. So, but the House, if they dither for the next 18 months, Sharon is right. If they dither for 18 months, they could jeopardize the 45-seat majority they have in the House.
And speaking of Nancy Pelosi, Sean texted in saying, I said she's the hottest Democrat because the majority of them look like Penny Pritzker, a.k.a. Buddy Hackett. Let's keep things in context, Blondie.
Yeah, and it went with Sean from Elmwood Park.
Yeah.
It's poundage, not tonnage. That's all we need to hear from Sean from Elmwood Park today. Ron in Bourbonnais, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, good morning. I basically agree with what you just said, Dan, but I really believe Trump is going to take things over through the summer and with the September budget negotiations. I also think that they're going to move to a 51-vote majority win in the Senate.
For legislative matters, right?
Legislative, yeah, that's constitutional.
Yeah.
And I just believe that we are done with the Democrats being able to block things because of polite Republicans. Yeah, he is a fighter, and he's going to turn the Republican Party into a fighting machine, whether some of them like it or not.
All right.
So, you know, I'm not losing heart. I think that we're going to shrink the deficit. We're going to increase revenues. And 3 or 4 years from now, we're all going to be a bunch of happy campers.
Okay. All right. Thanks for that optimistic note, Ron from Bourbonnais. How about Frank from Arlington Heights?
Hey, Dan. Two things. Number one, this issue with the budget, it had to be done because of North Korea. I mean, you can't be having this thing going on, the government shut down while you got this North Korea issue. But number two, with all this debt that you were whining about a little bit before, what are the assets of the United States? This country isn't anywhere near bankrupt. You've got $350 trillion in assets, maybe $140 trillion in debt total. We got net worth of $210 trillion. If we were in trouble, the interest rates would be higher. I don't understand why conservatives don't see this. Anyway, your views on that.
So you don't see a problem with $100 trillion in unfunded liabilities. You don't see the implications of where we go with Medicare and Medicaid since those programs are bankrupt. Those programs are insolvent. The payroll tax does not cover our Medicare expenses, obviously, and what the implications for that is with respect to tax and spend policy.
Yeah, those are over what 80 to 100 years. That's the actuarial deficit. I mean, what are our assets? Nobody ever talks about that. This country has $350 trillion in assets. The problem we have in this country is an income-generating problem. We don't generate enough GDP. It's only $18 trillion. That's a what? 5% return on assets? We should be getting 6, 7, 8% return.
And why? And so why is that, Frank?
Because various issues. Too many regulations.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we have. Too many regulations, and the income tax is too high. But the debt in and of itself, the debt level, is not a problem.
Okay, thanks for the call, Frank. Gary in Naperville, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, thanks, Dan, maybe for everything you do every day. You know, a key thing that we haven't talked about is the way you got to follow the money, because I don't think things are going to change very much the way these politicians on the Republican and Democrat side are funded by the same people that want the same thing. They want the status quo. And then the second thing is understanding the whole history of why we're at where we're at. You know, a government used to be smaller. It used to be low paid. Now the highest paid people, you know, the highest paid counties out there around Washington, look around Illinois, what your politicians and their friends and the people they employ get paid. Mm-hmm. They're running the country. The servants are our masters. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for the call, Gary. The CBO report on federal employee salaries, 17% higher on average than their private sector counterparts, to Gary's point. Phil in Arlington Heights, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning, guys. I can't get mad at the politicians. I got to get mad at my fellow citizens. This sounds like nails on chalkboard. I just want to be comfortable. I'm sick of hearing that comment. I just want to be comfortable. That tells me we have settled for socialism. Now, you want to succeed to the best of your ability. That's what this country's about. I just want to be comfortable. I've had enough. And it's my fellow voters, it's my fellow citizens that have done this, not the Democrats and Republicans.
Well said, Phil. Benjamin Franklin once said something about trading freedom for security, how that works out. Tim and Darien, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, hi, Dan. Hi, Amy. I think that this is foolish for them to think, the Republicans to think that they're going to do this sometime during the year. There are only a couple of places where the Republicans can force something down the Democrats' throat, and that's the appropriations bill and raising the debt limit. And if they won't do it there, then they're not going to do it anywhere. They're not going to defund Planned Parenthood. They're not going to defund Obamacare. It's just, they're just giving up all their chances.
Thanks for the call, Tim. Well, Paul Ryan, he's put the marker down. We're going to deal with these issues over the summer leading into the next fiscal year at the end of September. So we'll see. We'll remember what he said. Jeff in Mundelein.
if we all pay attention, always the last 2 or 3 weeks before a budget deal, the Republicans, all kinds of chatter. The last week, they go quiet. You know you're going to get screwed.
Thanks, Jeff. Dan and Amy coming to you live from Right at Home in-home care and assistance. We're in Orland Park, part of our AM 560 Signature Bank Business Tour.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
For me, it was the big S-Class from the 90s. Beautiful. My friend's dad had one.
The SL. All of the SLs. I've been watching those since I was a kid.
I think the 1971 SE was the first Mercedes that just blew me away.
Everyone remembers the first time they saw one, and the day they began to long for a Mercedes-Benz of their own. Well, that day may be a lot closer than you think. With a certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz, you can experience the luxury, the unparalleled safety, the performance, and the style Mercedes-Benz is famous for at a price you can afford. Beautiful SUVs, sedans, coupes, and convertibles that are factory certified and covered by an unlimited mileage warranty for up to 3 years, so you can drive without a worry for as far as you like. And during the certified pre-owned sales event going on now through May 31st, you can receive 2 years of complimentary prepaid maintenance and special financing available through Mercedes-Benz Financial Services, only at your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer. You've waited long enough.
See your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for complete details and limitations on certified pre-owned warranties.
Hey, you've heard me talk about MyPillow. I talk about it all the time. I love MyPillow because a good night's sleep is so important to our health. And for the month of May, you can still receive the 50% discount on the MyPillow 4-pack. What's that? Well, it's 2 premium MyPillows and 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows, all for the price of 1. Now, with MyPillow, you can move that patented fill to give you the exact support you need regardless of sleep position. You will get into deep sleep faster and stay there longer. There's a 60-day full money-back guarantee, a 10-year warranty on that bad boy. And our friend Mike Lindell manufactures them right here in America using only American labor. You can wash it and dry it, too. So for more information and to order your MyPillow, go to MyPillow.com. Type Amy in the promo code. That's MyPillow.com. Or call 800-489-0201. That's 800-489-0201 and tell them Amy sent you.
People who can afford a LASIK procedure sure are lucky. Imagine being able to throw away your contacts and glasses. Imagine waking up tomorrow with 20/20 vision. Too bad everyone can't afford LASIK. Well, guess what? There's a company that agrees with you. The LASIK Vision Institute is now offering dramatically low prices on high-quality LASIK to make it affordable for everyone. That means you get the latest FDA-approved LASIK technology for a fraction of what others charge. And if you call right now, we'll schedule a free appointment so you can discover if LASIK is right for you. Results may vary. Call 1-800-400-4098. Even better, call right now and you can get an extra 20% discount off our already low-cost services. We've already performed over 1 million procedures. Let us help you. Discover how you can get the quality LASIK experience you deserve at a fraction of what others charge. For your free appointment, call 1-800-400-4098. 1-800-400-4098. 1-800-400-4098.
Harvey owns a building and wants to save money by making his heating and cooling system more energy efficient.
Yes.
But Harvey's afraid of the cost and if he can get a return on his investment.
I am indeed.
Plus, he's nervous about disrupting the businesses that rent space in his building. Harvey doesn't know what to do with an HVAC system that's seen better days. The Air Comfort problem solvers to the rescue. Working as a team, the Air Comfort professionals find simple solutions that make a huge impact on building efficiency and operating costs, with minimal or no disruptions to building operations. HVAC upgrades and retrofits from Air Comfort can save thousands of dollars per year. They save energy, reduce maintenance, and eliminate downtime. And buildings with better energy ratings command higher rents and selling prices, and make tenants happy. Get real solutions from the Air Comfort team of problem solvers. Call 708-345-1900 or visit aircomfort.com and start saving money today. Air Comfort, providing the right climate for business since 1935.
Hey, the school year is rapidly coming to an end, and maybe you're not satisfied with your child's school experience. Well, now is the perfect time to start thinking about doing something different this fall. Don't send your child back to a school that you just aren't happy with. Start thinking about sending your child to a private school at half the regular price. That's right. Thanks to halfpriceschools.com, you can get a full year of tuition at, you guessed it, half the price. There's no catch. Find a school near you, purchase that tuition voucher, and prepare to send your kiddie off to school this fall. It's really simple. They have schools in Mount Prospect, Romeoville, Wheaton. Ugh, just kidding, Dan. Arlington Heights, Chicago, just to name a few. So make private schools affordable for your family for the first time this year, but these vouchers always sell out. Do it today. Visit halfpriceschools.com. That's halfpriceschools.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
And coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, we're going to...
Kings of Leon.
Oh, yeah.
See how
Someone
hip I am?
like you. Yeah, coming up, we're going to push you down to see how we could correctly get you to stand up.
Lift with the knees.
Yes,
That's how you
from
do
our
it.
friends right at home, in-home care and assistance, part of our Signature Bank business tour. Nuts now, though. Go into the newsroom and say good morning to Mike Scott.
42 degrees, mostly sunny skies. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott in the Nissan of St. Charles newsroom. It's Nissan of St. Charles that makes the difference. A manhunt underway to find the suspects who shot 2 Chicago police officers last night in the Back of the Yards neighborhood.
It's another example of how dangerous this job is. And I think people take it for granted that when police officers come to work every day, they put their lives on the line.
Both officers were hospitalized but expected to survive. Investigators are talking with multiple people of interest. A $1 trillion spending bill could go to a House vote as early as today. The measure keeps the federal government operating through the end of the fiscal year in September. President Trump will press Palestinian leader Mahmoud Abbas to end payments to families of Palestinians imprisoned in Israeli jails, one of several actions Washington believes could lead to resume peace talks with Israel. FBI Director James Comey on the hot seat as he goes before a Senate panel today. ISIS claiming responsibility for a suicide bombing today that targeted a NATO convoy. 8 Afghan civilians were killed. 3 U.S. service members were hurt, but in satisfactory condition. Shares of Apple took a major hit after the tech giant's latest earnings report fell shy of estimates. Southern Illinois' flooding problems about to get a lot worse. Forecasters say they expect as much as 3 inches of rain to fall today and tomorrow on the already rain-swollen rivers, the Mississippi, the Big Money, Wabash, and others. And an Aurora man who's facing sentencing for plotting to join the ISIS terror group is pushing to fire his lawyers. Abdullah Tunisi filed a letter in federal court saying he wants to fire that legal team and represent himself. Cubs over the Phillies 8-3. Jose Quintana and the first-place White Sox shut out the Royals 6-0. The news, a service of Live Nation. Live Nation celebrating summer concert season with $20 concert tickets to over 1,000 shows. This offer won't last long. Buy your tickets May 2nd through May 9th. Don't miss out. Visit livenation.com now. 7:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher says you got to give the president some time.
He's committed to building the wall, but of course, there are a lot of chess pieces on the board that you got to play when you're legislating. You got to deal with the media. You got to deal with all the different competing factors. The man has been in office since January. We have this expectation that everything's going to get done today.
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
With Metra, there's no need to listen to traffic reports. Just sit back, relax, and arrive refreshed and on time. For fares and schedules, visit metrorail.com.
Many of our listeners are ready to transition into a quality and worry-free retirement. Here's Mike Gibbons of the Gibbons Financial Group.
Thanks, Dan. Last year, we brought you our complimentary Social Security maximization planning, allowing listeners an optimal claiming strategy. While this was invaluable to many of you, proper planning should regard the totality of income through market movements. Our software will show you how to maximize retirement income. We'll also show you possible scenarios that could reduce your future income. This level of planning detail typically costs upwards of $1,500, but for AM 560 listeners, we're offering it at no cost. So if you're considering retirement, go to retiremetoday.com to view our retirement readiness video, or call Gibbons Financial Group at 224-419-5550 for your complimentary analysis. It's your future. That's retiremetoday.com or call 224-419-5550.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC.
7:36. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. The inbound Kennedy is jammed. Cumberland to the Burns Circle after earlier crash in the Hubbard Tunnel. It is an hour and 24 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, 57 minutes from Montrose, 56 in the Express. Outbound 48 to O'Hare. Eden's 26 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose. Outbound the same. The Eisenhower, an hour and 24 minutes. Thorndale to downtown. Outbound 54 minutes. Stevenson, an hour and 20 minutes. 3:55 to the Drive. Outbound 50 minutes. The Ryan is 28 minutes. 95th to downtown. Lakeshore Drive. Southbound delays start before Irving Park. It's 28 minutes. Hollywood to Monroe. Northbound Tri-State jammed. Southwest Highway to the Hinsdale Oasis, and from the Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue Curve. Veterans Memorial stop and go. I-55 to the Reagan Tollway. Traffic is a service of NTB. Get your 5-quart conventional oil change today. It's $19.99 plus $3 disposal fee. For tires, oil, service, and repairs, National Tire and Battery. That's all you need. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560. The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the aircomfort.com Weather Center, providing the right climate for business since 1935. Clouds and sun, high 57 today. Maybe occasional rain overnight, low 42. 41 officially at O'Hare. Next news. Coming up at 8, Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Secure Retirement Radio with host Raj Shah. Sunday mornings at 7 on AM 560, The Answer.
If you're looking for the latest news, insight into what it means, and the sharpest opinion, there's only one station in Chicago where you can turn, and it's this one. We're AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. We're coming to you live from Right at Home, in-home care and assistance in Orland Park, Illinois. This is part of our AM 560 Signature Bank Business Tour, and we're pleased to be joined by Dave and Allison Adenovich.
I know, it's Adenovich. The Adenoviches.
Hey, yo.
Right. They've been married 30 years. Look at them.
Yeah, they're great. They're a great couple. And I love on the board here, quote from Mother Teresa, love begins at home. And it's not how much we do, but how much love we put into that action. Mother Teresa, or another favorite is, we can do no great things, only little things with great love.
That's right.
Yeah.
Very
You know why? You know what we have here, Amy? We have somebody who's Catholic school educated, Allison, Catholic school educated.
That's where it all begins.
So she's an intellectual who understands the idea of being a servant leader. Somebody in Lakeview could be a little bit more like Allison Adenovich. You know what I'm saying?
They also have up on the board, a professional is a person who can do his best at a time when he doesn't particularly feel like it.
And that's why I'm a professional.
Exactly.
And so tell us the story of Right at Home. I know it's a franchise, part of an international organization that provides the in-home care and assistance to seniors. But your franchise, the story of how you embarked on this entrepreneurial venture.
Sure. Well, we started 10 years ago, and we are one of 9 offices in the Chicagoland area. And actually, my background's physical therapy, so I was in the homes looking at the quality of caregivers in the home and was not impressed. And people were very vulnerable in their homes, and I thought, gosh, there's got to be something better out there. So we did embark on looking into Right at Home and loved their mission of improving life for those we serve.
And so you were the idle rich, sitting around trying to figure out how to pass the time, and you decided to choose this business.
Yeah, we just wanted a business that could give back to the people, and we just took a leap of faith. And we knew if we provided compassionate care from our caregivers that we would succeed. And we have some gems of caregivers. That's what helps us to be who we are. And we got the 2017 Best of Home Care Award. And there were only 73 agencies in the whole United States that won that award. And we were the only one on the south side of Chicago to win that.
But tell us, I mean, I was being facetious, of course, when I said you're the idle rich sitting around. And for people that are thinking about starting their own business, taking that leap of faith you described, to tell our friends, what how you actually started this business.
Okay, actually, we were in debt on our credit cards. We have 2 young men that were bound for college, and we had no money saved for college. And, we just felt that this was our purpose and our passion in life to run this home care agency. And that's what we did, just a leap of faith. We mortgaged our house, went way into debt, just sleepless nights. But we knew if we had the faith to make this work.
Failure was not an option for
Yeah.
us.
I mean, 10 years later, you've won this prestigious award. You even said that, when we were talking earlier, that failure wasn't an option.
No, absolutely not. We had the sleepless nights, and people would say, when did you know that you finally made it? Well, we were going to make it. There was no way we weren't going to do it.
So how does this work? So if we all have parents that are getting older, and
Our co-host.
or co-hosts like Dan, who needs
Yeah.
a sponge
Companion,
bath
yeah.
later.
Mhm.
But you'd call up. What number should we call?
Sure. You call 708-873-9007.
All right, and then do you both go to the house, or one of you go to the home and see what the needs are?
Myself or my care manager will go to the home and do a one-on-one assessment in the home and see the needs, and we come up with a customized care plan for your loved one. So it might be that aging spouse trying to take care of the aging spouse in the home and needs some respite time. Or it could be a son or daughter that kind of notices things happening, that maybe memory deficit, or mom's not eating properly, or there's been a history of some rehospitalizations that's been occurring. And we also get our referrals from social workers and discharge planners from hospitals and rehab centers and home health agencies, because they see that people are going to need a little extra care.
So
at
this
home.
is non-medical care and services.
Non-medical, private duty care, right?
And so one of the things is kind of you're implying is this helps seniors to live independent lives, to stay in their home where most seniors want to stay, and as well as for if a senior citizen has lost a spouse, maybe they live alone. This is an opportunity for companionship too.
Sure, absolutely. And 87% of the people want to age in place. They don't want to go to a facility. They want to stay home. This is the place that they've known all their life. And also what's happening too, and that includes me and Dave, is the seniors, their kids are living farther and farther away.
Yeah.
So they don't have that support close by.
And that's weird because I want to move into a nursing home now.
Well,
so I'm kind of
that's
the
what I was
opposite.
going to ask. If we need to get right at home, which is in-home care and assistance for Dan, just so that he could have a friend and socialize. I mean, how many could somebody come over for an hour a day, maybe 2 hours?
You know what? Dan is over the age of 18.
Yes. Yes, I am.
And we, as long as it's an appropriate assessment, we will.
Well, I mean, I just
Have you stopped using the bedpan?
Well,
Can you
well,
make
but
it to
it's,
the
so when I
toilet?
walk around the neighborhood and I'm just talking to myself, I mean, somebody to just listen to me.
That's right.
You know?
I mean, we do such a variety of things that have come up in our 10 years. We've had taking people to weddings, grandparents
Sure.
that,
Sorry
want
if
to
I
see their
invited to one.
granddaughter get
Yeah.
married, but yet, grandma needs help getting
Yeah.
dressed, and
We-
maybe
yep.
take her back early to the hotel
Yeah, so
because
it
she
doesn't
can't keep
burden
up with
family
it.
members. That
Mhm.
they not-
Or like the whole, if you're sick of table for one.
Yeah,
maybe
bitter table for one.
Maybe
table.
maybe
Yeah, just
maybe
get
a
out, go
dinner
to the
companion.
show. Yeah, go out to the show.
Surf and turf. I'm a fun guy. We'll get the 4:30 early bird, and then we'll go listen to some Lawrence Welk music.
And there is a lot of senior activities, out there in communities, but sometimes seniors are reluctant to walk into a room not knowing anyone.
So,
so a
someone-
companion,
companion.
would do that kind
And
of
do they
work.
drive too? Can you go to the grocery store? I'm planning my
Absolutely.
future. Don't interrupt
Yeah,
me.
exactly. Right.
And now you have this bed here.
Yeah.
And
So-
what is the
so
bed
this
for?
room that we're
Besides for
broadcasting,
Dan to take a nap.
Right. This room that we're broadcasting from is where it all happens. The training, the orientation. We are a licensed agency by the Illinois Department of Public Health, so there are some training guidelines that they give us that we have to ensure. And that's very important when people are seeking home care, that they choose a licensed agency.
And so, this is a business, operating a business in Illinois, in Cook County. if you're on the Cook County side of Orland, I think we are.
Yes, Cook.
Then you could give a sense of the challenges you face, so how making your business and the services you provide to senior citizens, how you could be more effective doing that if the state would let you.
Number one, we all know workers' comp. That's a big issue in this state of Illinois. And another thing is in Illinois, there's a lot of non-licensed home care agencies on referral list, in the hospitals. And right now, that's a huge risk to the clients because a lot of those placement agencies or mom and pop agencies, a lot of times they don't carry workers' comp. A lot of times they're not background checked. They're not their agency's employees.
They're not supervised in the home either.
Right. And right now there's a bill in the Senate on the floor about making all the hospitals have to have all licensed home care agencies on their referral list. And, that'll definitely just make our business just blossom even more.
Wow. And then I know you can't talk about your clientele, how many people you are, how many customers you have, but how many hours do your employees spend with your customers?
It's all a customized care plan. People can stay as long as 2 hours a day for a bath visit, like maybe Dan might need later.
Which we're going to get sponge bath.
It could be even 1 day a week.
I like to just kind of lose myself. In
one
the
day
bath.
a week, 1 day a month, up to 24/7.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Some people need help, through the night. The kids can't, get up for work the next day when they've been up 4 times with mom and dad because they're unsteady or they need to keep, using the facilities in the night.
And so, I mean, even if you have a family member or you live in an assisted living facility or nursing home, there's still services that you provide that fill gaps that are left by those assisted living facilities.
Right. So, they may have, say, a surgery and they go back to the assisted living, but things still aren't up to par. There's still a safety issue, whether it's at an assisted living or even a rehab center. Mom goes there for rehab and she needs more one-on-one care when she gets back to the room because, she presses that call light, no one comes, so families will have us in there to make sure that, she gets her water and she gets her meds and she, gets safely to and from the bathroom.
And I'd like to add that we're always hiring caregivers and CNAs. And we look for people that have compassion because we can't teach compassion. We can teach, skills and training to be a caregiver, but we'd rather have someone that has compassion to come and work for us than a caregiver that has no compassion.
All right. Dave and Allison Adenovich, they are the proprietors of Right at Home right here in Orland Park, in-home care and assistance.
Oh, we forgot to mention, you played basketball with Lou Canellis.
Yes, I did.
In high school.
And Dave Wills, too.
Oh, see? What high school did you go?
Oaklawn High School.
Was that
graduated 82?
Was there a 5-5 and under league?
He only lasted freshman and sophomore year?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That must have been a terrible basketball team. Dave and Allison Adenovich, Right at Home in Orland Park, proprietors. Thanks so much for joining us. Congratulations on your success.
Thank you very much. We're blessed to have you.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Forecast for today, plenty of sunshine right now, some high wispy clouds. We're going to have a high of 57 degrees. And tonight, oh yes, it returns, folks. Some rain. Just got dried out from the last one, but so rain, occasional rain left tonight. And then tomorrow, breezy with occasional rain, a high of 51 degrees. Let's get into our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy. Inbound Kennedy, it's really heavy after a crash in the Hubbard Tunnel. It is an hour and 24 minutes, so O'Hare to downtown, 57 minutes from Montrose, 56 in the Express. Outbound 48 to the airport. The Edens is 23 minutes. Lake Hook to Montrose, outbound 26. The Eisenhower, that's an hour and 24 minutes. Thorndale to downtown, an hour 4 from Manheim. Outbound 54 minutes to Thorndale. And the Stevenson, an hour and 24 minutes. 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 43 minutes. Ryan, 28 minutes, 95th to downtown. Southbound Lakeshore Drive is now jammed, starting in Hollywood. It's 39 minutes, Hollywood to Monroe. Tri-State southbound, so Washington to 137. Northbound Southwest Highway to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue curve. Jim Talamonte and the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Oh, Turnkey IT. Turnkey IT. Turnkey IT. Upstream Ideas. Bolingbrook Golf Club. My Pillow. I don't have Turnkey IT.
Great read.
Well, Turnkey IT, if you have... here he is. Here he is.
Oh,
I
my
just
goodness.
personified
Radio
it in
Verite.
the object. Hey, how would you like to have insurance for your computer network? Something to protect your hardware and software, and more importantly, give you peace of mind. Well, using Turnkey IT for installation and support of your systems is like having insurance for your computer network. For one affordable monthly payment, your company gets a full team of certified technicians who are there for you. They work in the background to ensure your systems are up and running. They will help you over the phone, and they will make house calls to your workplace. And Turnkey IT doesn't wait until there's an emergency. They work hard to take preventative measures to keep your network secure, backed up, and running nonstop. So Turnkey IT can protect your network with the Turnkey experience. What's that? Well, everything's included. Office 365 hosting, advanced network protection, cloud backup, disaster recovery, and unlimited remote and on-site support 24/7. So find out what Turnkey IT can do for your company. Visit turnkey.pro. That's turnkey.pro.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I found out several years ago that I have hepatitis C, and I didn't want to be one of those guinea pigs that the doctors wanted to try all sorts of different things on. So I was looking for a more healthy alternative, and that's how I found Balance of Nature. I've had absolutely no symptoms since I started taking Balance of Nature. Within 3 months, my liver enzymes were next to normal, and they had been very highly elevated. I enjoy a very full life. I own several businesses and working 60 hours a week, and before I started taking Balance of Nature, I couldn't even work full-time.
Take Dr. Howard's Health Challenge and find out how to get 2 free sets of fruits and veggies. We'll even ship them to you free. Call now for details. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Chicago.
The good news? Our business is growing. The bad news? We have to hire again.
Ugh, the searching.
Oh, where do we look?
What if we hire the wrong person? Actually, we could use ZipRecruiter.
ZipRecruiter?
ZipRecruiter makes hiring fast and easy. With one click, our job would be posted to 100 leading job sites. But are the candidates any good? You bet. As soon as we post our job, ZipRecruiter starts identifying the best matches and notifies them to apply, all within minutes. Well,
Whether you're looking to fill one position or 20, find the best candidates fast with ZipRecruiter. Find out why ZipRecruiter has been used by hundreds of thousands of businesses in a variety of industries nationwide. Right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/work. That's ZipRecruiter.com/work. ZipRecruiter.com/work.
The Bolingbrook Golf Club, it's the location of our annual golf outing this year, but there's more than just golf at the Bolingbrook Golf Club. Treat the mom in your life to a champagne brunch on Mother's Day at the Bolingbrook Golf Club from 9 to 3. Make your reservations now for Mother's Day. Visit BolingbrookGolfClub.com for all the details. That's BolingbrookGolfClub.com.
Comcast Business presents the GOA Regional Business Association's 2017 Business Expo. Face-to-face, Thursday, May 4th from 2 to 6 p.m. This event is free to the public and will be held at Avalon Banquets at 1905 East Higgins Road in Elk Grove Village. Attend and learn about products and services from over 100 local business vendors. Sample delicious local food and drinks. Enjoy raffles and great giveaways from the exhibitors. Last year, the GOA Regional Business Association's Business Expo had over 1,000 attendees. Admission to attend this event is free. All you need is your business card. Don't miss the GOA Regional Business Association's 2017 Business Expo. Thursday, May 4th, and network with over 100 companies at the only business expo in the region. For more info, call 630-773-2944. That's 630-773-2944. Or visit them online at thegoa.com. When you're looking to grow your business, think GOA.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Bob Ament, a founding partner of the law firm of Dassman & Ament and longtime personal customer of Signature Bank. Our firm recently left one of the larger banks to bank with Signature Bank, and it's been a refreshing change. With Signature Bank, we've been able to tailor banking solutions that fit the specific needs of our firm. Beyond that, Signature Bank is responsive, efficient, and timely in meeting those needs. If I have a request, I pick up the phone and talk to Mick O'Rourke, not someone at a phone bank thousands of miles away. Dassman & Ament needed more than what the larger banks offer, and we found that with Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. Learn more about turning your business vision into reality. Visit signature-bank.com. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Many Americans' top retirement concern is running out of money. Are you prepared? Listen to Grow My Retirement, Saturday afternoons at 2 with Bill Geiger of Geiger Wealth Management. Bill translates today's complex retirement issues into easy-to-understand steps to help you create a retirement income you can't outlive.
Whatever you have in your portfolio has to last you for the rest of your life.
Grow My Retirement, Saturday afternoons at 2, here on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity, sponsored by Upstream-Ideas.com. Every long-lasting, successful organization has accountability mechanisms up and down the chain of command. 100 days in, we're about to find out if the Trump-led national GOP will be successful and their legislative majorities long-lasting. Legislating, where direct benefits are conferred or removed, is where discipline is required and unity of purpose is displayed. Legislating is where we separate the flag wavers from the flag movers. Legislating is where moral precepts are translated into law. On this measure, the next 100 days for President Trump and congressional Republicans would be much more significant than the first 100. $20 trillion in debt and 5 times that in unfunded liabilities were not racked up by the federal government overnight and will not be paid down overnight. But those numbers do demand bold action on spending and growth. The former must be restrained so the latter may be unleashed. The imperfect Obamacare replacement 2.0 and the less imperfect tax relief plan are good places to start legislating. For if the party fails to hold itself to account, external Captain Bligh-style accountability will come next year in primary and general elections.
AM 560, The Answer.
You want more than just the headlines? Find out what's going on and what it means with me, Dennis Prager, this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, I know a lot of you think, oh, if I just move out of Illinois to another state, life will be so much better, lower cost of living, better quality of life. Well, I got some news for you. The BBC's new science season, Tomorrow's World, which is back, kicks off with Stephen Hawking.
What is new about Stephen
Oh,
Hawking?
my, yeah, that is so offensive.
I've been doing impersonations all day.
That impersonation of
What
Eddie
are you
Redmayne
talking about?
doing Stephen Hawking is offensive to me. Don't denigrate Eddie Redmayne like that. Stephen Hawking says, hey, look, we've got to leave this planet. It's time to get out. Wrap it up. We have got to get to space in the next 100 years because human life is unsustainable on Earth. So you got 100 years. You better start planning and saving, Amy.
Okay, thanks. Well, coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We'll talk to Steve Forbes about the tax plan. Not that it matters because we have to leave Earth at 8:08.
But now let's go into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
2 Chicago police officers shot. A judge demands answers in the death of a Joliet Township girl. Complete look at weather after Fox News. WIND Chicago News Time, 8 o'clock.
Fox News Radio. I'm Dave Anthony. It was an ambush. That's Scanner audio from Broadcastify right after 2 officers were shot and wounded late last night in Chicago, where Fox's Jeff Manasso is live.
2 plainclothes officers were working an investigation last night on the city's south side when police say 2 vehicles pulled up
and began firing indiscriminately at them. The officers were able to return fire. One was hitting the back, one was hitting the arm and the hip. But this just is another example of how dangerous this job is.
Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson says the officers are being treated. They've also recovered 1 vehicle and weapons that may be involved as the citywide search continues for suspects. Dave.
Jeff, there was a vigil last night in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, as news got around the Justice Department will not charge 2 white police officers who killed a black man last July.
They got evidence, video footage that this man wasn't reaching for no pistol. They took it out of his pocket after he was dead. All right? By law, that's murder, man.
Video shows the officers on top top of Alton Sterling. Someone yells he's got a gun, then they open fire. A white Texas cop has been fired over the weekend shooting of a black teenager in a car driving away from a house party. The boy's family wants Roy Oliver charged with murder. President Trump tweets, perhaps he just ran a great campaign, responding to Hillary Clinton saying this.
I was on the way to winning until the combination of Jim Comey's letter on October 28th and Russian WikiLeaks.
She says that scared some of her voters away. The president also tweeted the FBI director Comey was the best thing to happen to her, giving her a free pass on bad deeds. The House could vote today on a more than $1 trillion spending bill, while Republicans keep working on a revised bill to replace Obamacare.
Is this the best we can do? Is this a conservative movement going forward? And the answer is no.
GOP Congressman Mark Meadows, some moderate Republicans fear it'll be too costly for Americans with pre-existing conditions. Fox News Radio, fair and balanced.
44 degrees, mostly sunny skies. Good morning, I'm Mike Scott in the Nissan of St. Charles newsroom. It's Nissan of St. Charles that makes the difference. A manhunt continues to find the suspects who fired on and then shot and wounded 2 Chicago police officers in the Back of the Yards neighborhood. Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson says the officers were completing an investigation sitting in a vehicle last night when those inside 2 other vehicles opened fire.
It's another example of how dangerous this job is. And I think people take it for granted that when police officers come to work every day, they put their lives on the line.
It happened last night near 43rd and Ashland. Both police officers hospitalized but expected to survive. Investigators are speaking with multiple people of interest. A Will County judge demanding answers after a 1-year-old girl was found dead last week in a Joliet Township home. Judge Paula Gamora says child welfare workers obviously missed signs of trouble during previous visits to the home where Samaje Crosby's body was discovered. Southern Illinois' flooding problems are about to get a lot worse. Forecasters say they expect as much as 3 inches of rain today and tomorrow. In the already rain-swollen Mississippi and Big Muddy and Wabash rivers, there's emergency declarations in Williamson, Jackson, and Franklin counties. Chicago aldermen representing high-crime neighborhoods near a Norfolk Southern rail yard want new laws ensuring railways secure their facilities following thefts in recent years of roughly 150 guns. And former President Barack Obama and his wife Michelle in town today, couple making at least 2 stops, one at the South Shore Cultural Center, where a 3D model of the Obama Presidential Center will be shown. Cubs over the Phillies 8-3. First place White Sox shut out the Royals 6-0. The news a service of NTB. Get your 5-quart conventional oil change today. Just $19.99 plus $3 disposal fee. For tires, oil, service, and repairs, National Tire and Battery. That's all you need. 8:04 and a check of traffic and weather. On the way after the AM 560 Business Beat from the Fox Business Network. And a service of Turnkey.pro. Here's Jenny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, the government is investigating the prices you pay for medications. Perrigo, which makes over-the-counter drugstore brands, says its offices were searched by federal investigators. American Airlines is about to shrink its legroom again. The newest jets in American's fleets, the Boeing 737 MAX, will have an inch less legroom. Reports say some seats will even shrink by 2 inches. The new planes are expected to arrive later this year. Time Warner says it's off to a strong start this year. Its earnings were stronger than expected. Apple also reported a strong quarter. Apple services income increased. That includes the App Store and payment services, though iPhone sales declined by 1%. And Sprint's quarter was mixed. The Dow closed up 36 yesterday. NASDAQ added 3. The S&P was up 2. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Ginny Cosola.
8:05 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
By now, you've had your chance to watch the mainstream media do everything they can to destroy President Donald Trump. Any pretense of being fair and impartial is now history. While all these years they were playing a game trying to disguise their true intentions, now it's simply Katie bar the door. Certain networks seem to have abandoned whatever journalistic credibility they once held dear. So what to do? Where do you turn? How can you know what's really going on? Just keep it right here. We'll get you through. AM 560, The Answer.
Mother's Day is next week, and Pro Flowers is offering an amazing special: 100 stunning blooms for mom plus a free glass vase for $19.99 plus shipping and handling. Go to proflowers.com and enter the secret code 500. But hurry, this deal expires this Friday. 100 colorful blooms for mom for $19.99. Satisfaction guaranteed or your money back, plus a free glass vase. The only way to get this amazing deal is to go to proflowers.com, click on the blue microphone in the upper right corner, and enter the secret code 500.
Looks like some cable and phone companies are trying to sell home security. But when a burglar sees one of their signs in the front yard, what does it say? Oh, wow, this home has 599 channels. Or, oh, these guys have high-speed internet. But the ADT sign, it says, this family trusts the company whose name means security. So beat it. It's no wonder 5 times more people choose ADT to protect their homes.
Learn more at ADT.com and to see licensing and terms and conditions.
It's 8:06 and a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim Telemonti.
Thanks, Mike. Eastbound on the Eden Spur, it's heavy past Waukegan Road. Then the Edens runs 23 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 27. Inbound Kennedy, an hour and 16 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. The delay start at Nagel. It's 45 minutes from Montrose, 38 in the Express. Outbound 47 to the airport. Inbound Eisenhower, an hour and 24 minutes. Thorndale to downtown, an hour 8 from Manheim. Outbound 57 minutes to Thorndale. Stevenson, an hour and 22 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 42 minutes. The Ryan is 29 minutes, 95th to downtown. Southbound Lakeshore Drive, 39 minutes. Hollywood to Monroe. Big delays are from Hollywood to North Avenue. Tri-State southbound, slow Washington to 137. Northbound, stop and go 111th most of the way to 31st. And from the Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue Curve, Reagan Tollway slow Randall to 59 and Roosevelt to the Tri-State. Veterans Memorial from I-55 to the Reagan Tollway. The Army Trail toll to 290. Eastbound I-80 has delays. Humboldt to Larkin. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560. The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the AirComfort.com Weather Center with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Patchy frost for the morning, otherwise clouds and sun for the day today with a high 57. For tonight, we'll have occasional late-night rain with a low 42 and occasional rain during the day tomorrow. Wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour, high tomorrow 51. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
41 at O'Hare. Next news 8:30, and Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is sponsored by the Art House Gallery. Sell your gold, diamonds, jewelry, watches, and more. Call 847-926-0700.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. We are coming to you live this morning in Orland Park at Right to Home, in-home care and assistance. The last stop on our spring AM 560 Signature Bank Business Tour. It's been heap big fun, and we had a great time talking to the proprietors of the Right at Home franchise here.
And
again, provide in-home care and assistance for seniors, Dave and Allison Adenovich.
And I love that they said they hire only compassionate people because you cannot teach compassion. And
Yes.
their phone lines are ringing. And if you want to set up an appointment or meet with them or find out more about the company, go to www.rightathomeorlandpark.com. Do you like I put the www?
Yeah, exactly. Because
How
this
old
is,
am I?
Because this is 2003.
All right, just go to rightathomeorlandpark.com.
Steve Forbes, of course, the chairman and editor-in-chief of Forbes Media, former Republican presidential candidate. In 2015, he wrote a book, How Repealing Obamacare, Replacing the Tax Code, and Reforming the Fed Can Restore Hope and Prosperity in America. Reviving America was the name of the book. That was written in 2015. Now it's 2017. We have a Republican president of the United States. We have Republican-controlled Congress. And all that Steve Forbes said should happen, could happen, but it's not. And I think it's leaving Steve Forbes a bit ornery, a bit restless. And I like an ornery, restless Steve Forbes, who joins us now. Steve, thanks for joining us again. Appreciate it.
Good to be with you, Dan and Amy. Thank you.
And you penned a piece the other day saying, would you just get rid of this 60 vote threshold in the Senate already and pass tax reform? Explain your position.
Well, the Republicans have to do two big things to get this economy moving again. One is a sweeping tax cut, which they're so far making a hash of, and getting a new, beginning to get some real health care reforms, which they seem incapable of doing. And so I think a lot of people are frustrated to have all the levers of power, get to do it. And they get hung up on these crazy procedural issues well, we have to do health care first. No, you don't. You write the rules. Get the tax cut first. Make it across the board. And one of the things that's made me ornery is that on the Republican side, this is the House Republicans, the congressmen, congresswomen, not the White House, they're proposing a new tax, a 20% border sales tax, which would raise the average price of a car in this country $2,500, raise the price of gasoline 30 cents a gallon, raise the price for everything you buy at Walmart, Kmart, Target, wherever. And they say they need the $150 billion they're going to steal from American consumers, working Americans, to cut other taxes. Well, to me, that's crazy. You're going to raise taxes to cut taxes? Just cut the bloody taxes.
So what do you think of this, the funding bill that was, done to avert a government shutdown? No money for border wall, deportation of forests, no cuts for sanctuary cities or Planned Parenthood.
Well, the Planned Parenthood thing, all it did was that it put the ball in the hands of the Department of Health and Human Services. And I guarantee you they're not going to provide any grant money for Planned Parenthood. So that was a little bit of a good three-card Monte part on the part of the Republicans. One thing they did right in this negotiation. The rest of it was just to buy time. And they got a few things. The Democrats got a few things. But the key thing is to start focusing on getting a health care bill where patients are in charge rather than third-party bureaucracies, whether they're insurance companies, government bureaucrats, or big employers. And I don't understand why they're floundering on that. For example, you live in Illinois, I live in New Jersey. We both have crazy health care regulations. Why can't you, as a resident of Illinois, if you want, buy a health care policy that's sold in Wisconsin? Or why can't I buy one that's sold in a neighboring state like Pennsylvania? You can buy cars in neighboring states. You can buy shoes in neighboring states. But you can't buy the insurance. We need nationwide shopping for insurance to get big competition, hundreds of companies competing for your business. Basic things like that. I'll tell you one other thing, Amy, they should do is require hospitals to post each month how many patients, and this is a national scandal, die of infections received after they're admitted to the hospital. It's 90,000 a year. I guarantee you at least two-thirds of those could have been prevented.
Okay, well, that's interesting. But going back to Obamacare Replace 2.0 for a minute, over the last several weeks, we've moved from a group of a couple of dozen conservative members of Congress, conservative members of the House, holding up the replacement proposal from advancing, and now we've got a couple of dozen Republican centrists holding up the Obamacare Replace from advancing to the Senate. How would you break this Gordian knot?
Well, one thing on the Gordian knot is you just take a big sword and cut the thing instead of trying to untie it. And in terms of what they call pre-existing conditions, actually, if you look at the real situation, if a handful of dollars would take care of that, just do it. The big thing they haven't done yet is provide sufficient coverage for people who make too much to go on Medicaid but aren't old enough for Medicare. So have a targeted means-tested tax cut or equivalent of a food stamp or whatever. Take care of those folks. They're not that many. And then move on with it. And I've got news for both the moderates and the conservatives. If you don't get a health care bill through and a real tax cut through, all of you are going to go down next year. All of you are going to become part of a minority party. You better get it done.
And do you think that President Trump feels that same urgency and understands the implications that you're suggesting are at play?
Yes, and I think that's why he kicked off a week and a half ago, said get your butts back and start working on a health care bill, get the thing done. And the thing is, you're going to have plenty of opportunity to improve, add to health care in the future. You're not writing the whole Bible in one night. Just get some good reforms in, and we'll do more in the future. But start the thing.
Yeah, but now we're learning this morning that a number of moderate Republicans are not for this new health care repeal and replace of Obamacare.
Well, again, what's holding them up is really the Journal, Wall Street Journal, had a piece the other day, and one of our own contributors, Avik Roy, pointed out that the concern about people with pre-existing conditions, that number is fairly small universe, thankfully, and you can provide a handful of dollars by Washington standards to make sure those people aren't left on the sidelines. So I don't understand why the leadership doesn't do it. Tell the moderates, we covered that for you. Tell the conservatives, there's some good stuff in the bill for you. Let's move. Not perfect, but nothing's perfect in this world. But you better show you can do something rather than just sitting in the dugout and say, because we might not win the World Series, we shouldn't play any games. No, you go out there and you try and you improve.
Are the structural tax reforms that President Trump advanced, the criticism has been not enough in terms of specifics to properly score it. Additionally, the question about the permanency, depending on whether they're deficit neutral or not. What was your first blush reaction to what he proposed, and how complicated does it need to be? Can the one pager that he produced to summarize it be effectively the plan?
Oh, absolutely. And this is where Republicans are getting caught up on strange procedures. You mentioned permanent and impermanent. If this gets a little arcane, complicated, but this is how Washington works. If their budget estimates are that it's 10 years down the road, and nobody can predict 10 years, newspaper horoscope would be better at that than Congress could. But if they predict more deficits after 10 years, that means that after 10 years the tax cut expires. They're all hung up on that. The proper attitude should be get a proper tax cut that gets this economy moving. And 10 years, nothing's permanent. They passed a tax bill back in 1986, supposedly permanent. 4 years later, they're changing it again. So don't get hung up on these crazy things. Just pass a good pro-growth tax cut rates for all individuals, raise their deductibles, raise their exemptions and deductions, do the same thing on the business side. Trump outlined it. These guys could do it in 24 hours if they just put aside their petty Washington hang-ups and just produce a good, straightforward bill.
So Friedman said nothing is so permanent as a temporary government program. Your position is nothing is so temporary as a permanent tax reduction.
Yeah, that's the sad thing. So get the reduction through, and then you can, again, do more in the future. But get the thing done. And that's what I think we have to hammer on these people. And the other thing, Illinois has got a couple of representatives, Roscoe and others, who are hung up on this border adjustment tax, 20% sales tax, because they think they need to raise revenue to make something that's not permanent, which isn't permanent. So don't take over $100 billion out of the pockets of the American people. Tell these guys, pass a true tax cut, C-U-T, cut. Don't raise taxes on working Americans.
Agree with that. He is Mr. Hope, Growth, and Opportunity. Cuts to the chase. Why we love having Steve Forbes on the show. Steve Forbes, Chairman and Editor-in-Chief of Forbes Media. The latest book a couple of years ago, which has great application today, Reviving America. Steve Forbes, thanks for joining us again. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I think I need to send a copy of the book to them again.
Yeah.
I think you do.
And Steve Forbes joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Sunshine today, some high clouds. Will be perfect for Dan, who's going to go play golf. It's going to be high of 57 degrees. Tonight, some rain returns.
You know why I'm going to play golf?
Because we're close to your golf course?
Because I hate myself.
Well, because, yeah, another day of torture. Tonight, some occasional rain, a low of 42. And for tomorrow, breezy with occasional rain, a high of 51 degrees. Let's get into our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy. Dan, got big problems on I-80 westbound. It is closed Briggs to Richards due to a rollover crash. Big backup starting at US 30, and this involves a mobile home on its side on the roadways. It may take a while to clear. Avoid the area. Eastbound, we see delays from Humboldt to Larkin. Inbound Kennedy, an hour and 16 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, outbound 47 minutes. The Edens, 23 minutes from Lycook Junction, outbound 26. The Eisenhower, an hour and 24 minutes. Thorndale to downtown, an hour 8 from Manheim, outbound 57 minutes to Thorndale. Stevenson, an hour and 22 minutes. 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 42 minutes. The Ryan is 27 minutes. 95th to downtown. Reagan Tollway heavy. Randall to 59 and Roosevelt to the Tri-State Veterans Memorial. From I-55 to the Reagan Tollway and from the Army Trail Toll to 290. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
847-926-0700. Calling this number can bring thousands of extra dollars right to your wallet. The Art House Gallery is back. Do you have any jewelry, diamonds, gold, silver, antiques? How about paintings, porcelain, Fabergé, maybe high-end pocket or wristwatches, Rolexes, Cartier, Tiffany, or Breitling? Well, if you do, call the Art House Gallery now at 847-926-0700. Get cash for your valuables today. You can meet in their office in Highland Park or in the privacy of your own home or bank. The Art House Gallery makes it easy and convenient. Professional and respectful, your items and collectibles may be worth thousands in cash paid directly to you. So gather up your jewelry, diamonds, gold, antiques, paintings, high-end watches, and more, and call to schedule a meeting with the Art House Gallery. You'll be glad you did. Get cash for your valuables today. Call 847-926-0700. That's 847-926-0700 or online at ChicagoArtHouseGallery.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
It's working great on me. I can't believe it. I've been having a lot of health issues, my muscles, my legs, my knees. So ever since I've been taking this, I've really, really improved. My blood pressures are way down. My cholesterol's are back to normal. I'm in just good shape. I can't believe this thing is going. I even lost 6 pounds when I went to the doctor. And he wanted to know what I'm doing to lose 6 pounds. But I'm not doing anything. I just taking this Balance of Nature, and it's working out for me. And it'll work for anybody, I know.
Take Dr. Howard's Health Challenge and find out how to get 2 free sets of fruits and veggies. We'll even ship them to you free. Call now for details. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Chicago.
The Bolingbrook Golf Club, it's the location of our annual golf outing, but there's more than just golf at the Bolingbrook Golf Club. Treat the mother in your life to a champagne brunch on Mother's Day at the Bolingbrook Golf Club from 9 to 3. So make your reservations now. Visit BolingbrookGolfClub.com for all the details. That's BolingbrookGolfClub.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy and Hillary is back out on the circuit.
She's angry, man.
Still doing the postmortem on her defeat last November, 6 months in, not getting too old. And to tell you what, consistent with the left's penchant for redefinition, Hillary Clinton has redefined apologizing with, or to be, blaming others, which is what she did yesterday in her sit-down with Christiane Amanpour.
It wasn't a perfect campaign. There is no such thing.
Grand concession.
But I was on the way to winning until the combination of Jim Comey's letter on October 28th and Russian WikiLeaks raised doubts in the minds of people who were inclined to vote for me but got scared off. And the evidence for that intervening event is, I think, compelling, persuasive. And so
of course you do.
We overcame a lot in the campaign. We overcame an enormous barrage of negativity, of false equivalency, and so much else. But as Nate Silver, who doesn't work for me, he's an independent analyst, but one considered to be very reliable, has concluded, if the election had been on October 27th, I'd be your president. And it wasn't. It was on October 28th, and there was just a lot of funny business going on around that. And ask yourself this. Within an hour or two of the Hollywood Access tape being made public, the Russian theft of John Podesta's emails hit WikiLeaks. What a coincidence.
I'll ask myself that question and answer it. But here's the thing, first of all. If I've heard that whole statement, had the election been a couple of days earlier or had the election been a couple days later, I would have won. That is the lament of every sour grapes loser who's ever run for office. The date of the election was not a surprise to anyone, right?
No,
Momentum changes throughout an election cycle. This just in, Hillary Clinton, who's only been in this racket for
what, 3 decades?
Yeah,
plus?
I mean, can we give me a
She knows how it
4
works.
4 decades, 5 decades almost. So of course, I mean, the whole kind of if things were different, they wouldn't be the same. I concede your point. She's not accepting responsibility because
No.
she's incapable of accepting responsibility. She's not telling the truth because she's incapable of telling the truth. And just her point about the timing of the WikiLeaks release of Podesta emails with the Access Hollywood tape of Trump. Right, that was held for how many years, Amy?
11 years.
So it was held for 11 years to drop the weekend before a presidential debate in October.
Well, and I mean, if she's such a champion for women's rights, why didn't women vote for her? They asked her, 33 million college-educated women did not vote for you. And she admitted there was some undecided, but because of Comey's involvement, that's what put Trump over the top. And that's why those women went to Trump. Donald Trump, by the way, tweeting right after she made this comment, FBI Director Comey was the best thing that ever happened to Hillary Clinton in that he gave her a free pass for many bad deeds. The phony Trump-Russia story was an excuse used by the Democrats as justification for losing the election. Perhaps Trump just ran a great campaign, ?
Well, Hillary Clinton overcame her lead, too, to lose the race. There's no question about it. And overcame getting effectively a clean bill of health. That's certainly how she characterized it when Comey gave his bizarre determination and his political statement that there was nothing criminal to prosecute here. So, but just going back to the timing. So Access Hollywood holds it, and perhaps in conjunction. Ask yourself this question, Hillary. Perhaps in conjunction with Hillary Clinton campaign knowledge, hold it till mid-October, the weekend before a presidential debate, before they drop it. And then WikiLeaks, which had hacked or had access to hacked Podesta emails, and I'm not supporting the hacking of anybody's emails, but yes, so they responded to her October surprise with their own.
Right.
And she wants to pretend like she's the victim of some very fortuitous timing with respect to the one set of information versus another. I mean, she's just such a disingenuous, pathological liar. George in Libertyville, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Dan, I couldn't agree more. I mean, this lady, seriously, she is just utterly right now a whack, just a whack. But what her slogan should be is, I was winning the race until the truth came out.
Thanks for the call, George. Dan and Amy, we're coming to you live from Right at Home in-home care and assistance in Orland Park, the last stop on our spring AM 560 Signature Bank Business Tour.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Are you behind in your mortgage, facing foreclosure, being given the runaround on a loan modification application by some bank or servicer? Well, you're not alone, but I may be able to help you. My name is Lou Bridges. I'm with the law firm of Lou Bridges & Associates. We've put together a team to help distressed homeowners like you. Give us a call. We give everyone who's eligible a free consultation. I guarantee you it will not be a sales pitch. We will give you our honest analysis, counsel, recommendations, and advice regarding your options.
We are experts in doing loan modifications successfully. We know the regs. We understand the process. Most importantly, we don't take no for an answer. We fight. We are prepared, and we win. We save houses. We make houses affordable. So if you want to keep your house affordable, contact us.
Go to bridgeslaw.net or call 224-513-1231. That's 224-513-1231.
Remember, people, never give up the land. Fight for truth and justice. You do that, and I guarantee you'll never be alone.
For me, it was the big S-Class from the 90s. Beautiful. My friend's dad had one.
The SL. All of the SLs. I've been watching those since I was a kid.
I think the 1971 SE was the first Mercedes that just blew me away.
Everyone remembers the first time they saw one, and the day they began to long for a Mercedes-Benz of their own. Well, that day may be a lot closer than you think. With a certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz, you can experience the luxury, the unparalleled safety, the performance, and the style Mercedes-Benz is famous for at a price you can afford. Beautiful SUVs, sedans, coupes, and convertibles that are factory certified and covered by an unlimited mileage warranty for up to 3 years, so you can drive without a worry for as far as you like. And during the certified pre-owned sales event going on now through May 31st, you can receive 2 years of complimentary prepaid maintenance and special financing available through Mercedes-Benz Financial Services, only at your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer. You've waited long enough.
See your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for complete details and limitations on certified pre-owned warranties.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We'll talk to Hoover Institution fellow Peter Berkowitz about healthcare reform and how it needs to contemplate the changing role of doctors at 8:38.
And looky here, guess who scored an interview with Vladimir Putin? Former intern? But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, good morning. 47 degrees in the Nissan of St. Charles newsroom. It's Nissan of St. Charles that makes the difference. There is a manhunt underway at this hour to find suspects who opened fire on 2 Chicago police officers. Superintendent Eddie Johnson says the officers were in a vehicle last night when others inside 2 other vehicles drove alongside and opened fire.
2 civilian dress, plainclothes officers working the tactical unit in the 9th District were conducting a follow-up investigation, at which time 1, possibly 2 vehicles pulled alongside them and started firing indiscriminately at the officers.
The authorities say the officers were sitting in that vehicle near 43rd and Ashland. The officers are hospitalized but expected to survive. This could be the day the House approves a spending measure that will fund the government through the remainder of the fiscal year. House lawmakers could vote on that $1 trillion spending bill as early as today. The vote comes on the heels of President Donald Trump tweeting our country needs a good shutdown in September. Republican Senator from Iowa, Joni Ernst, disagrees.
I don't think that's the best solution. Certainly we need to be working together, but what we have to do is find a sustainable path forward.
White House Budget Chief Nick Mulvaney cheered the budget deal, calling it a win for the Trump White House. 3 U.S. service members have been wounded in a bomb attack in Afghanistan. Those wounded 3 U.S. service members are in satisfactory condition. The bomb blast killed 8 others. Authorities are searching for 4 teenage girls accused of breaking into an apartment and attacking a group of other teens in Glendale Heights. Girls used a stun gun to attack 8 people, then drove off. Southern Illinois' flooding problems about to get a lot worse. As much as 3 inches of rain could fall today and tomorrow. The Mississippi, the Big Muddy, the Wabash, and several other streams and rivers are swelling out of their banks. It's an emergency in counties like Williamson, Jackson, and Franklin. Cubs over the Phillies 8-3. First place White Sox shut out the Royals 6-0. And the news, a service of Lowe's. Pro customers at Lowe's save 5% on every purchase every day when you use your Lowe's business credit account. That's 5% on all purchases in-store or online, subject to credit approval, U.S. only. 8:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher sees the end of free speech.
The practice of college students silencing speakers. Conservative speakers. I can think of no time where I have done anything other than disagree with somebody on the far left's perspective. I can't wrap my brain around stopping that person from speaking.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Metra's 96% on-time dependability helps you get to work on time no matter what's happening on the roads. Find the station nearest you at metrorail.com. Comcast Business presents the GOA Regional Business Association's 2017 Business Expo. Face-to-face, Thursday, May 4th from 2 to 6 p.m. This event is free to the public and will be held at Avalon Banquets at 1905 East Higgins Road in Elk Grove Village. Attend and learn about products and services from over 100 local business vendors. Sample delicious local food and drinks. Enjoy raffles and great giveaways from the exhibitors. Last year, the GOA Regional Business Association's Business Expo had over 1,000 attendees. Admission to attend this event is free. All you need is your business card. Don't miss the GOA Regional Business Association's 2017 Business Expo, Thursday, May 4th, and network with over 100 companies at the only business expo in the region. For more info, call 630-773-2944. That's 630-773-2944. Or visit them online at thegoa.com. When you're looking to grow your business, think GOA.
8:36 and a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Westbound I-80 is jammed from 355 to Briggs, where the interstate is shut down right now. There's been a rollover collision involving a mobile home, which is on its side. The closure westbound is Briggs to Richards, eastbound Big Gapers delays, Larkin to Briggs. On the Edens Expressway, it's just 23 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose, but outbound now 30. The Kennedy, delays starting at Sayre, an hour and 10 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, 40 minutes from Montrose, 32 in the Express, outbound 50 to the airport. The Eisenhower, an hour and 21 minutes, Thorndale to the post office, outbound 53 minutes. Stevenson, an hour and 20 minutes, 355 to the drive, outbound 38 minutes. The Ryan is 27 minutes, 95th to downtown. Northbound Tri-State slow, 111th to the Hinsdale Oasis, and Ogden to 31st. And from the Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue curve, Veterans Memorial slow, I-55 to the Reagan Tollway, Army Trail to 290. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the AirComfort.com Weather Center, providing the right climate for business since 1935. Clouds and sun today, high 57. Still a chilly low of 42 overnight. 47 at O'Hare. Next news at 9. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Radio Garden Sense, a show bringing your property's gardening needs alive. Radio Garden Sense, Sunday mornings at 11 on AM 560, The Answer.
Hey, Joe Walsh, I don't know about you, but I have absolutely reached I'm beyond my breaking point with these Republicans in D.C. We'll talk about it when Freedom returns at 5.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. We're coming to you live as we wind up our AM 560 Signature Bank Business Tour in Orland Park at Right at Home In-Home Care and Assistance, providing in-home care and personal services for seniors. And
this is the time when we give you the sponge bath.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that right after we get off the air, which is how I normally like to unwind.
Exactly.
But when we talk about this, it's kind of a nice segue. When we talk about health care, we spend so much time talking about health insurance, and we conflate the issues health insurance and health care. Obviously, they're connected, but we talk about Obamacare replacement. We're talking about health insurance, but what about the quality of care and a little bit of a look at what's actually happening to the practice of medicine with respect to the most important medical professionals, doctors, and their relationship with nurses and hospital administrators. For a look at this aspect of the discussion of the quality of health care in America, we're pleased to be joined by Peter Berkowitz. He is a senior fellow at the Hoover Institution, and he's written a very compelling piece that's posted at realclearpolitics.com. True healthcare reform hinges on doctors' redefined role. Peter, thanks for joining us again. Appreciate it.
Good to be with you. Thank you.
So what about that? What are we under-discussing when it comes to how doctors practice medicine in the modern context of the regulatory structures and so forth?
Well, we're of course discussing the ways in which hospitals and the whole healthcare arena has become a kind of battle zone between doctors, nurses, hospital executives and administrators, government bureaucrats, and insurance agents. Of course, we have deep, deep concerns about who gets covered, the extent of coverage, and who pays. But the transformation of the medical profession, especially as you said of doctors, is hugely important and neglected.
And so I know there is consolidation going on within the industry. among doctors, where the small operation just really can't succeed because of the paperwork and the bureaucracy and all of the business end of practicing medicine now. And so you see these practices being rolled up or doctors going to work at big hospitals. How does that impact the quality of care, or is that just a symptom of the problem, as it were?
Peter? Was it something Dan said?
Did we lose Peter?
Peter, can you hear us?
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Okay. Peter Berkowitz has...
What do you think happened there?
I think...
It wasn't on our end. Oh, no. Nope.
No, we never have technical issues
hey,
on our end.
But sometimes it's on their end.
Yeah, sometimes.
Maybe they accidentally hit the mute button.
So Berkowitz is probably he's probably in one of those areas that voted for Hillary Clinton where you don't get cell phone reception. That was the other thing she said in her interviews. Like, these people, I would go to these places where I couldn't even get cell phone reception. That's where the Trump voters are.
Oh, and that's the reason.
How many states did Trump win?
Wow.
30 states? Yeah. Yeah, interesting.
She's still not handling that loss well.
No, she's not. And she also didn't, she didn't have the chance for us to repeal and replace Hillary Care rather than Obamacare. So she's still upset about that 25 years later. Peter Berkowitz back with us. Peter? Yeah. All right, there we go.
Sorry about that.
No problem. So we just left off talking about doctors, the individual practices being rolled up, doctors going to work for big hospitals, and what that says about the state of play and the quality of care.
Sure, that's a big problem, and there are problems connected to it. So with let's call it the businessification of medicine, you've got hyper-specialization, which means physicians know more and more about increasingly small areas, which means it's more difficult for them to speak to other physicians about medical problems. You've got increasing intrusiveness, regulators and among government bureaucrats, and also among the insurance companies. And you've got the doctors feeling that they have increased concerns about compensation and competition from other practices, from other hospitals, from other healthcare organizations. All of these pressures are bearing down upon them, to say nothing of political correctness, which afflicts their practice as well. The professionalization of nurses as well. They feel competition from there. All of this is detracting from physicians' experience of being full doctors.
Well, so with the Affordable Care Act, the number of uninsured really went down. I mean, it was reduced significantly. So why was it on the trajectory to, break the federal budget?
Because the reason we're on the trajectory to break the federal budget is because the government now is insuring more and more, and the kind of coverage that it mandates is more expansive than it was before. Somebody's got to pay for that, and by the way, coverage itself becomes more expensive every year, and there are just simply not enough dollars in the federal budget to pay for increased coverage of people and increased coverage of ailments and conditions and therapies and drugs and so on. At the same time, we're decreasing competition among healthcare providers. For very simple reasons, we're breaking the budget.
Now, one thing that's happened in response to what you're describing is the rise of concierge care. We spoke with a doctor who founded one of these concierge care, primary care services, Your Choice Direct Care, Dr. Chad Savage. Really interesting. Somebody who was making a lot of money as a specialist, like you're describing, but was feeling like it was less and less rewarding, so he founded this concierge medical practice, and he and his colleagues are maybe not making quite as much money, but enjoying being a doctor again like they hadn't been for a while. And I wonder if concierge care services like his represents part of the answer, the positive response to some of the problems that you're detailing.
I think it probably does. I hear some cases, some examples of concierge care, successful cases of it, or examples of it, I should say, out here in the Bay Area. But it's hard to see it as a solution, a long-term solution for the vast majority of physicians. That's a great change. It's interesting. What Dworkin recommends is a kind of transformation of medical education and a better understanding of what it means to be a doctor in general. In the old days, he points out, he admits it was a golden era. Doctors were a combination of science technician, gentleman, and benefactor of the community, and partly because their practices were not as specialized as they are today. It means they were compelled by their very practice to speak with patients, to get to know with patients, spend time with patients. And also because competition was less fierce, these doctors could be men and now also women of the community. So to make a long story short, actually Dworkin recommends introducing a bit of humanities education into medical school.
But I mean, does the business of medicine allow us to go back to this kind of Moonlight Graham version of the community doctor?
The short answer is no. The short answer is no. We've got all these pressures that we've already discussed. There will be cases of concierge medicine, and therefore, so Dworkin wants more humanities. The author of the book that I was writing about, but at the same time, what he's hoping for is that nurses who have much better training today than they once did can take over some of the more routine aspects of what it is that doctors do, performing basic checkups, writing prescriptions for drugs, and so on. And doctors can take over more of a management role, managing the health care. Sounds more like concierge medicine of patients. This greater responsibility will draw on more of the skills and abilities doctors once got to exercise. It might even make healthcare more efficient.
So there really was a shortage of doctors during Obamacare.
Yes, there really was a shortage, and the shortage is projected to increase in the next decade or so, and the shortage will especially increase among primary care physicians. So that's a place where Dworkin's idea really could help. And by the way, this means when it calls for a greater leadership role for doctors, it also calls for increased responsibility for nurses, who instead of attending the physician, actually, thanks to the better training that they now receive, will take on more responsibilities.
This sort of sounds like what's happening with doctors, what happened with public school teachers at the K through 12 level in so many urban centers. You have these people that got into teaching because they want to impart wisdom into children and set them on a career and set them on a path for success in whatever field they choose, but are in a system that doesn't allow them to do what they got into teaching to do, which is to instill a love of learning in children. And so doctors sort of in the same position of being in a system that doesn't allow them to practice their artistry, just like a great teacher is like a great artist.
I think that's right, and I'd like to emphasize what you're saying. It comes out in Dworkin's story. Dworkin, the author of the book, is an anesthesiologist. He tells many tales of surgery. And of course, successful surgery very often depends upon the most sophisticated technology and surgeons who themselves have years of practice and therefore technical skill. But actually, successful surgery often depends upon learning from patients what exactly it is that ails them, determining their fears, because only with patients' self-reports and only with physicians who are capable of eliciting from patients proper self-reports can the physicians and the surgeons really identify accurately what needs to be done, what needs to be cut, what needs to be sewn together.
He is Peter Berkowitz, Senior Fellow at the Hoover Institute. Also, you see his work routinely at the pages of the Wall Street Journal. His latest piece at realclearpolitics.com, True Healthcare Reform Hinges on Doctors' Redefined Role. Peter, thanks for joining us again. Always insightful. Appreciate it.
Good to be with you. Thank you.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper. Hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Plenty of sunshine right now. Some high wispy clouds. Going to be crisp out there. A high of 57 degrees.
Wispy Clouds was my high school band name.
Yeah. What was it a cover band for?
REO Speedwagon.
Oh, there you go. Tonight, the rain returns. There's a light drizzle. And then tomorrow, it's going to be really breezy around here. Kind of a nasty, raw, cold day. Rain and a high of 51 degrees. Let's get into our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Jim Talamonte, what was the name of your high school band?
That's a good question, Amy. Rollover Mobile Home. That's what we got going on.
Oh, that's great. That was kind of like a bluegrass band, right? That's kind of...
Absolutely. Yeah, good call. We got a closure right now. Westbound I-80 due to a rollover mobile home. It's shut down from Briggs to Richards, and traffic is stopped entirely on the westbound side from 355 to Briggs. Eastbound, there's a Gapers delay. There's another band name. Larkin to Briggs. The Edens, 22 minutes. Lake Cook to the junction. Outbound 31. Kennedy, an hour and 10 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, much quicker in the express. Outbound 50 minutes. Inbound Ike, an hour and 18 minutes. Thorndale to the post office. Outbound 42 minutes. Stevenson, an hour 20. 355 to Lakeshore Drive. The Rhine is 25 minutes. 95th to downtown. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Hey, the Bolingbrook Golf Club, it's the location of our annual golf outing, but there's more than just golf at the Bolingbrook Golf Club. Treat the mom in your life to a champagne brunch on Mother's Day at the Bolingbrook Golf Club from 9 to 3 p.m. So make your reservations for Mother's Day. Do it now. Visit BolingbrookGolfClub.com for all the details. That's BolingbrookGolfClub.com.
Life should be an adventure, and so should your health. It's another can't-miss Health Quest radio show this Saturday morning. Dr. David Kolbaba.
I'm the host of Chicagoland's longest-running health news and science show. As a primary natural healthcare practitioner, I've been helping people just like you reach a higher place of health and longevity, utilizing more natural strategies as I believe our Creator meant it to be.
Create your adventure in health. Tune into Health Quest Radio every Saturday morning at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
Hi, I'm Dave Geiselhart, president and owner of Home Trust Mortgage and customer of Signature Bank. When the large banks turned away from the mortgage lending industry during the financial crisis, I turned to locally owned Signature Bank. Signature Bank stepped in and helped me expand our business at a time when the larger banks wouldn't. Today, I'm proud to say Home Trust Mortgage has been able to expand our business in Illinois and the Great Lakes region. We couldn't have done that without the help of Signature Bank. Signature Bank truly helps Chicago businesses like mine grow and thrive. That's why we also became personal customers and shareholders of Signature Bank, Chicago's business bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. Learn more about turning your business vision into reality. Visit signature-bank.com. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Trust is the single most important factor in hiring a contractor, and Dependable Construction and its founder, Joe Barron, built their business over 3 decades by being trustworthy. Do you want to read this? Tuck pointing brick roofing is Joe's specialty. Now, Joe started as a laborer and progressed to an expert tuck pointer and bricklayer. In addition to
masonry, put out of business by Amy Jacobson's Reed about his business.
In addition to masonry and roofing, Joe and Dependable Construction have grown to become a full-service Angie's List and Better Business Bureau award-winning contractor. For brick, masonry, roofing on residential, commercial, or industrial projects to any other type of remodeling or construction, you will deal, trust me, directly with owner Joe Barron. So call Joe Barron at Dependable Construction, mention AM 560, and receive a 10% discount on most jobs. So you call this number, 773-244-1091. That's 773-244-1091, or visit tuckpointchicago.net. That's tuckpointchicago.net.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I'm almost 87 years old, and I have had irritable bowel syndrome. I really feel better at my age. I'm telling you, I was weak and weary and just afraid to go any place because of this irritable bowel thing, and now I'm doing better. My doctor's already taken me off I think that's the name of it, which for your cholesterol. I did a test, and he said, you don't have extra cholesterol, and he took it away from me. Isn't that wonderful? I'm amazed. I really, truly am. I thought these old people on there giving these commercials were full of stuff, and they surely didn't mean it. And they do mean it.
Take Dr. Howard's Health Challenge and find out how to get 2 free sets of fruits and veggies. We'll even ship them to you free. Call now for details. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Chicago.
LPS Corporation in Franklin Park is proud to support Food for the Poor and AM 560 The Answer. LPS Corporation sells and services meat processing equipment for supermarkets and packing houses throughout the Chicagoland area. They also offer a wide assortment of handcrafted, quality seasonings and marinades to add just the right flavor to your culinary creations. From grinding, stuffing, mixing, and slicing to flavoring meats and packaging meats, LPS Corporation does it all. They also have free training classes that teach you how to create delicious sausage, salami, lunch meats, and more using authentic Italian products and taught by technicians from Italy. LPS Corporation, food processing equipment, supplies, and service to help your supermarket or packing house run efficiently each and every day. For more info, call 847-451-2222 or visit them in Franklin Park at 2308 17th Street. Choose LPS Corporation for meat processing equipment, supplies, and service.
When it comes to your home, nothing's more important than your roof. Everything underneath depends on it, right? Even if it's not leaking just yet, you know it's important to be proactive and repair or replace it before you have a problem. And if you're in Chicagoland, the decision on who to call is easy. You call the Champion. That's Champion Roofing. For over 3 decades, Champion Roofing has provided great service and beautiful roofs at competitive prices. It starts with the Champion expertise, using quality materials plus the